towards ramp, and this is going to be a big problem. Nock and Hampus left on their own.
It's not Hampus Rampus, it's Ham Palace here as he moves his way in. Ham Palace, that.
Ham Palace.
Yeah.
Like the Buckingham Palace.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. You've linked it all back around.
This guy is a bit of a king of Counter-Strike.
It's what they say about Hampus. Not me. Either way, 20 seconds left on the clock, and here comes that rotation over there from the ramp. They're going to try to pinch this bomb site. With the bomb planted, it now becomes the back foot. Nip have to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
They've actually got great positions here. Like, even with this long flank that's really good for Frozen, it's going to rely on his utility. He should know at this point where they are. Just got to clear out the necessities. Check. There's no one under. Molly and Palace, time is ticking. Flash for BMAS needs an immediate kill here. It's a good flash, but there's a second player ready to play off the contact. The bomb tap not stuck. They're still considering the backline. Frozen overwhelmed by the double CT setup, and that's NIP converting the 2-on-2. That was 2-on-5, so damn good try for Mousesports, but they just weren't ready for the deep CT setup. Great shots from Frozen here, dropping the bomb and really stalling things out, but it's still an NIP round.
I mean, that right there alone kept the round as competitive as it was. You can't always bank on that either.
Frustration station for Mousesports, but that train isn't till the third map. That's where NIP are trying to get us. One down in the series already.
Rob's able to get away with that, but there is Twist keeping an eye on the weapon, so that's not retrieved for Mouse. Important trade for Twist to get. This kind of frees you up to have a bit more room to maneuver. Frozen boosted. Doesn't get anything from it, and then they have to dismantle it almost as quick as it arrived. This Molotov is going to hold them back from a short peek. NIP, they could go anywhere right now, and that's the big worry. But Mouse, they are leaning more towards this B site out of the two.
It's a bit of a gamble, but it might be the right one. Just BMAS over here towards the A side, and all of the party is going to be going on catwalk. That's right. We're walking the catwalk, and we're going to be doing it with Nip as they barrel into this B bomb site. Can't find the kills just yet. Frozen lays in hiding, right in plain sight, really. And he has found. That's how you lose. Hide and go seek is done. BMAS 1v4, Deagle in hand, no kit, no armor, no nades, nowhere really to go, no like plans. Just the formality at this point. 8 up for Nip on the back of this round.
Yeah, it's just such a go-to map for NIP, right? It's exactly what we expected. They beat Big back at Cologne. They went for a long OT loss against OG here. They took Vitality down just the other day here in the Pro League on Mirage. A dominant win as well. In a series they lost, you know, worth noting too. So yeah, this is just a go-to for them. And Mousesports, who don't have a lot of experience as a team, as this team on this map per se. Double AWP back, I like it. Again, like any opportunity to buy the double AWP, Mousesports are convinced. And we know the players with the AWPs can do things, but right now they are the bottom performers. Chris and Carrigan, 3 and 5. Need them to come alive.
And is this just a standard A execute for NIP? Certainly feels like it as all the smokes rain on in. Now, if they're able to just convincingly sweep this one, that's where you get worried for Mouse's future here on Mirage. This is as standard as they come. The flashes are good. BMAS turns away the second time around, but they just keep pouring in, and he has to drop down from the scaffolding. This molly from Plopsky is going to burn BMAS out. Forces him into the prying eyes of Hampus. Chris J back in CT. There ever was a time for Chris J to roll back the years and give us a Mirage AWP play, it's now. There's one for Chris. Any more? As they're still trickling into this A site. While this has been happening, Frozen has wrapped all the way through middle and is now holding the back line as well. And so this is going to prompt the rest of Mouse to just disengage and offer up this site temporarily to allow Frozen this timing. He's going to catch Twist for free back in Palace. Now, they know about the lurk, but knowing about it is one thing. It's responding to it. It's quite the other. Rez is trying to keep an eye on it, but he's also tasked with watching CT. This is a lot of responsibility for just one man to hold on to. Half the time ticked off this bomb. Rez with the swing, doesn't find anything, and Nork finished off by Rops. The defuse going to come on in, and Mouse Sports, they are able to recover that round. Yeah,
very methodical retake as well. Mouse knew they needed that round and didn't want to throw it away in the 2-on-4. So after Frozen gets that kill, it's a slow down. It's wait for the AWPs to post up and start clearing positions. Chris crouches into the angle, and NIP and just get swung by Rops on the stairwell. So it's another round for Mouse Sports. They keep things contested. This is still a great half for NIP. Anything more they find with the money they've amassed could really push them over the line off of an already one half, but why not make it better? Moving away from A, as Mouse Sports have 3 players here. They've been attacked a lot on this site, and so they've put bodies right at the problem, or so they think. Instead, it's not an A play right now. NIP are taking mid. Twist is coming back late to spawn to check for this ramp progression, and he's actually responded at the perfect time. It's just, does he realize BMAS has already taken this angle with Rop supporting as well? Like, this is a heavy setup to deal with. NIP looking like they want A, just judging by Twist's position, but he's about to uncover the terrible truths to this round. The pre-fire for BMAS, he sees a shadow, and Twist wants nothing to do with it. He's drawn enough attention. He knows NIP now need to watch close ramp, and that will be calmed over as they run through the smoke. Oh.
Wow, that's brutal, isn't it? Everyone's kind of ready. They kind of think they know what's coming their way, but NIP, they're just so swift in those moments. They don't waste any time. They look so confident on Mirage, and that there is something that Mouse Sports, there's just no accounting for. They run through the con smoke, they beat Karrigan, they deal with everyone else just immediately. Like, in a matter of seconds, everyone on A is dead. And they've even seen the barrel of Chris J. That's the AWP now dropped. Frozen, he just wants to stay alive. He's not even looking to fight. He is literally retreating, and they are hunting him down.
No prisoners, Harry.
Yeah, no mercy for NIP.
At least they're doing it together, not just one by one. Knock actually is going to get that information, and now Frozen's left in a very scary situation for himself. Dies after the bomb explodes, I believe, but nonetheless. Look at this. Plofsky doubles him up, and then it's easy access over into the A bomb site. Ah, there we go. Thanks, man. Thanks for turning that one back around. Glad you guys did hear me when I say running it backwards will work for you. Still, all restrictions and terms do apply.
Oh, that flash timing is unfortunate for Chris. Peeks and then gets popped.
Okay, Robs.
Yeah, he's done this before. He got a kill earlier, but unfortunately for them, again, it's Mouse Sports in the wrong place at the wrong time. They're getting B-rush. Rops can't even get the kill in middle. Hampus is ready for it this time around. The AWP could collapse, and it does, but only killing one. Twist lives to tell the tale. Karrigan's like to trade this kill from Rops, and he does get that AK down in the middle, but at this point, B has been lost, and the plant for NIP has left Mouse Sports in a retake that isn't really worth going for. Like, BMAS didn't have a lot there, but Karrigan certainly should save this AK, and he knows it. 10 rounds for NIP. They've been great on the anti-ecos, right? When Mouse Sports stack B, NIP go A. When Mouse Sports stack A, NIP, they go B.
Hey, man, give me my deagle. Get off my deagle. You're standing on it. This round's coming to a close, and so is the half. NIP are going to go up to double digits.
Yeah, dude, Hampus has a really nice read on the game, and clearly NIP have been putting a lot of work in as of late. They've got lots of different approaches. Mid control's looking good. Mousesport's barely being able to contest. Every time they do, they put this AWP here, and the same thing happens. It gets mollied out, bombarded with flashbangs. Karrigan shot a warning shot, but he does follow up with a kill. Only one. Now Chris on short needs to win that, and Hampus is going to take him back. This guy's not just got the brain, he's got the aim to back it up. 2 kills in middle to start this round. It could be NIP hunting for 11. They've seen it, and Nork is going to hit the flick as well. That is unreal. What do you even do here if you're Mousesports?
Well, you can't save, that's for sure. It's round 15, so for Frozen and Robs, they've got to attempt this one. Robs dropping down, does win that fight over Plopsky, but barely. 19 points of health. He has got the AWP at least. Karrigan's AWP given over on his deathbed. Now in the hands of Robs. Is this enough? I mean, he is still a man down. Hampus is very, very low, but you've got no utility to flush him out. And the longer Maus take, the harder this round is to win. While Robs is a kit and a smoke, that could come in handy later on. It relies on even getting in and surviving this journey. There is going to be a CT peak. Robs was just holding for it, but the timing couldn't get any worse. And there's the double from Twist to end this half, 11-4. NIP looking ferocious on Mirage, and it's set to continue here in the second map of this series.
Up to the ceiling, everything I envision, not everybody gon' win it. Only difference between us is I ain't stopped till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Young and misunderstood. My homie, tell me what is changing from your point of view. A smaller circle, but the range is some deja vu. I recognize my future, and there is nothing with you. Unless you turn your boat around, success might come recruit you. But unless you analyze in depth that we're steps away from death, 1,000 possibilities, act on it, Johnny Depp. For real, cause we're lonesome childs trying to.
This is bigger than anyone realizes.
How did Nazis get into the States?
This is the greatest mass conspiracy in our nation's history.
The stage is set. From your home to the arena. We proudly support the Living Room Champions like we do the champions of the world. Providing you with the best tools in your pursuit to be a star. Euronics, official electronics retailer of ESL Pro League.
You just gotta love yourself. Yeah. You just gotta love yourself. Yeah. You just gotta love yourself. Yeah. Hope you learned your lesson, girl. I cannot teach anymore. Hope you show some faith in men. I am not like anyone. 'Cause I am over being sober with myself and I'm with you. I am over being something I am not. I'ma turn it to the man now. Hey, finna get my money, ain't no handout. Hey, finna be a legend like I'm playing now. Hey, I ain't gotta focus on my friends now. Huh? I'ma turn it to the man now. Hey, finna get my money, ain't no handout. Hey, finna be a legend like I'm playing now. Hey, I ain't gotta focus on my friends now. You just gotta love yourself, yeah. 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 You call my bluff for the last time.
Mr. Robin Cool and company have not secured double digits in the first half. Actually, quite the contrary. It's going to be the NIP side of things that are looking to take us to 3. Welcome back to the ESL Pro League Season 12, everybody. We have solved, for the time being, the mystery of the blue camera. Albeit, my bets are still hedging on that the stickers are on it. I don't know about Harry and Hugo, but the odds are they might think the same.
We'll have to contact some bookmakers, figure out the deposits, figure out all of that. But right now, NIP holding the lead. Not just the lead, but the favor as well, as this is their map pick, and things are only going to get tougher from here on out. Mousesports have to direct the pace. But it's probably a lot better than just seeing A smokes land and failing to retake.
And my favorite MM strat is to throw 5 decoys A ramp, wait till they explode, and then run out while they're exploding so that the noise is, it's all like chaotic. Oh, what's going on? It's just decoys. Ugh. And that's why I play at Silver 3. So I'm kidding. Y'all are pathetic. 11-4 though. That's not pathetic.
No.
The statement actually from NIP, having lost the first map of Nuke.
Yeah, going to be a B crunch, but there are 3 players here for NIP. Mouse, they're walking into the stack and they can't get past Plopsky. It makes it look all too easy over towards short. And this pistol round might be striked away from Mouse. It all falls onto Carrigan. No armor behind the P2, and he gets bested as well. 12 on the board for NIP, a very convincing map here from them. We knew Mirage was going to be, I mean, I say we knew. We kind of expected that Mirage was going to be fairly dominant from NIP. It's their like go-to map, and it's one that, you know, we haven't seen Mouse really play with this new squad. But this is still far more dominant than I anticipated. There's a chance that like Mouse only ever even get 1 rifle round here in this second half.
Especially with this force spy, right? Like putting everything in after no bomb plant. Yeah, I would say it screams confidence, but right now I gotta wonder where Mousesports' heads are at. They are getting absolutely torn apart, and Plopsky already does more damage in middle. Bails out quite early. The nade could finish the job. Heavy utility into mid.
Old Pogsky. Very calm approach here from NIP. They realize the importance of losing control of this window room. Chris J with a very respectable pistol set up underneath. He's going to drop the smoke from immediately down under. This is going to be an A play all day. Bomb 3 postured at ramp. They want to go towards A. And in the Palace, it's going to be Rops. Doesn't sound nearly as cool as Ham Palace. But here we are. Hits on. Tons of damage being transferred from NIP over onto Mousesports. Frozen at Bemis below half. And, well, 0 for Plopsky. He gets domed by Bemis' Deagle.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit scary, right? With more and more players getting brought down low, and a hero now emerges in the form of Rez doubling up. So NIP, they get that one back under control. The Deag's only doing a little bit of damage there. Now, no money for Mouse, and this is where that risk of only getting 1 buy in the half really starts to rear its head, as this should be 14-4 in favor of NIP, and then we'll get that buy round. But if Mouse don't win it, they're done.
That's a scary situation to be in, but yeah, it's the reality we're in right now, right here. NIP looking to make it quick and clean. Back to the mid nades. Mousesports is delayed in taking it though. Chris is going to flash them out. Oh dear, Frozen already going down to the B apartments. The rest of them in through middle. No flash needed. They're just going to run the gauntlet. Maybe they would have loved the flashbang because Rez has found 3. Popped back in by another. Deagle out for Rez. Twist steals it away, but it's not a worry. It's still a full house for NIP. 14-4. No worries at all. Yoink. If you're Mousesports, really, if you lose this rifle round, it's all about just brushing it off and getting to the next map. You're not even thinking about Mirage anymore. There's not going to be any leg room left in this. NIP are forced to be reckoned with. And Nork on the AWP. To make matters worse, it's fast up Cat. There's 3 here for NIP, 3 B right now. Mousesports are walking into a stack, a trap, and they don't even know it. Propsky dropping the first, and now Mousesports taking the bomb back through T-Spawn. It's all a ruse, it's all a fake, but they've lost both faking players. Now down to that A play, and already NIP are throwing bodies back at that A site. They know that there's no one else following up on short. Rops has given away his position on A, but he hasn't got the kill to Dinky, looks away, and Twist wins that battle out. Swapping to the D to stop the cross, will get shot, but Nork drops the bomb, and this is where it all comes crumbling down. Frozen in a 1-on-4. Just not meant to be. NIP up to 15.
And you see, yeah, that dink with the AK, you know, obviously, I don't want to say ricocheted because that's just not reality, but
Wall banged.
You know, it is kind of one of those, oh, I got him for sure. Nope, nope, nope. Never mind.
Look dead on to me. Yeah, there's just not a lot to say right now. Like, Mousesports are getting owned, and now they've got to force up against 15. Not a fun situation to be in.
No, not one bit. They're going to try and just throw a wall of smokes down into middle, like so many. They've flashed into connector, and maybe that nets them the opening kill. It will. It's a fast approach in through Con, but already in Palace is a guy going by the name of Rez who looks to steal this whole round away. Lots of damage, and that now makes Hampus even more deadly. Rops, well, trade him out at least, and Rez still here just being a nuisance. Can't overextend in this position. Frozen able to deal with Twist over at short side, and suddenly for NIP, they are down to just 2, but there's Nork in the jungle dealing with 1. Karrigan giving up his position as well, and they know that Frozen was in the ladder room, so right now, they are aware of this 2v1 they've got in the A site, and Karrigan just gets wiped off the face of the earth. Frozen has to find this, but Nork just spamming the smoke, locks it in. How's that even fair? NIP, an incredibly dominant win on Mirage, and this one gets settled on the train yards. We're moving to that 3rd map in just a moment, so stick around.
I could make it. Sacrificed all my time towards greatness. Been alone in the dark, isolated. And my dreaming isn't real, what separates me.
You want to go back out into the cold?
More than ever. The past is written, but we are left to write the future.
Taking it home, I'm stepping it up to another level. Time moving faster than ever before. They don't really know about honesty, but they don't really grow. Honestly, I cannot be stuck constantly. Consciously is a part of me. And I already know it's coming my way. Yeah, cold out of stone. Stay out of my lane. Yeah, leave me alone. This is my moment. Finally found what lights up my fire.
Well, the matchup's here right in front of you, and if you can't see it, it's 1-to-1 currently. If you're watching from work, if you're joining us from the place that you call your job, glad that you could hear our voice at least. Sorry, I'm just kind of reading off the script here. And so far, it has not gone according to plan, at least for the side of Mousesports. Nip, they show that they've got what it takes here in the second map.
Ah, man, that's a big script, Trace.
It is the full season.
The full season.
This
Part
is it.
one.
This is it. You guys want to get a spoiler? You can't. I'm not going to read it out to you like that, but we will talk to you about why Mirage looks so damn desperate for the side of Mousesports, why they were nowhere to be found, and this was pretty much a blanking if there was going to be one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? This has always been a really good map for NIP, and I think that they came into this just full of ideas, full of, like, things they can pull out, and everyone looked like they were on the same page, right? They were very, very comfortable in what they were doing, and so often this just came down to, like, these fast con pushes through smoke, just blindsiding Mousesports, and then it's like the moment they would try and address that problem, they would try and deal with it. Well, they didn't. They couldn't, because suddenly NIP were doing something else brand new that Mouse hadn't really seen before. And then you kind of couple that up with the fact that a few key players were very, very quiet. BMAS definitely fitting into that category. Someone like Karrigan as well, who was donning the AWP a lot, wasn't really having any impact. And then you look on the other side of things. Well, suddenly, you know, you got like Nork looking damn hot with the AWP. Hampus on the secondary kept lighting it up and finding openers. And just all across the board, NIP looked like the better team here on Mirage.
Yeah, letting them start T-side, I think, is the biggest worry. We see NIP dismantle so many teams on the T-side of Mirage. Just crispy aim, fast executes, lovely smokes. Everyone knows where they're going. They're great at pop flashing each other into positions, taking the stairwell. And yeah, we saw a couple of rounds of Chris with the AWP, some A retakes in there for Mousesports. But other than that, it was pretty dead. And the second we switch over after an 11-4 half, they lose pistol. They force with no plant, they lose that. And they only get one buy round in the entire second half. That's not what we wanted to see from Mousesports, but it's exactly what we expected from NIP. They bring the heat to this best of three. And even though it was a slow start back in the opener of Nuke, well, now we go to the train yard and things really crank up a notch.
Which is exactly what I want to talk about, train, and how that could possibly look different here. Will NIP provide that same sort of entertainment, the hype, the sort of aggression and really confidence that they found themselves playing with on Mirage? Can they do that on train as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Train is a great map for NIP historically, right? Not just this team, but teams in the past under this org. For Mousesports, we actually look at it being a fairly favorable Karrigan map, where he likes to don that org towards the back of Ivy, play an aggressive T-Con, go out first. We're seeing, obviously, the role changes with BMAS now in there, so that could affect things in terms of him entry fragging. But yeah, I think this could be a good map for Mousesports. I'm still leaning a little bit maybe in the way of NIP after that game, and I was worried when the vetoes came through. But yeah, for Mousesports, man, they played this twice with this roster. Oh, sorry, once with this roster against Fnatic the other day. And in that game, BMAS looked excellent as well. He was really key fragger. He was a top performer at the end of the series. And considering he's a bit quiet here on the second one, we can, understand why, but he needs to bring that level for this third.
Well, that's what we're going to look at here. Ninjas in Pajamas taking on Mousesports. We're going to be doing it on Train. And I think that music means what I think it means. So we're going to go ahead and cut to that. We'll be right back with what is the third and final map of the second series of the day.
Ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Snix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
Chance and not lose.
Archer? What happened?
My wife's alive. We got soup terrorists. And we got no superheroes.
Oh, great. Cool.
We are in a war.
She's got a whole army of supes.
We can't just kill everyone.
That's exactly what we're gonna do.
Take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you. I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you. I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not take a chance. I can't pretend to like you. Breathing in, breathing out. There's no more room for any doubt. Empty mind, steady hands. Just stay close, stick to the plan. I hear them coming, I hear them coming, and I'm ready as I'll ever be. I hear them coming, I hear them coming down. Ready as I'll ever be. Don't give up.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Euronics, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, GGBet, and America's Navy.
And we're back with the matchup on hand, which is Mousesports versus the Ninjas of Pajamas right here in a matchup that has given us both one map for each side. So that does net us a pretty sweet ordeal to have settled on the train yards. And with that, ESL Pro League also brings about some familiar faces. You might recognize them. They're standing kind of close to me, but socially, safely, far enough away from me that I feel comfortable. I've got both Hugo and Harry, not to be confused with Harry and Hugo.
Common misconception.
All the time it tends to happen. I don't know. You guys get tweets all the time about it, right?
That is true.
Or maybe it's Harry.
Yeah, but I either get called like Hugo or like Alex or like Trace. These are all like three names that I've been dubbed before, and none of them my own. And that's a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, that's interesting considering I don't think we sound anything alike, but
I don't know, but I think it's pretty similar.
Yeah, you're right.
You are right.
I mean, like the apples don't fall far from the tree. I mean, you are from the UK, American. Let's be honest here. But let's also be very honest that this train has got to come to station. And in this station, there's going to be 10 players in the server on both sides. And I don't mean 20 people in the server total. I'm talking about 5-on-5 action. Let's just get into it. You know what? There was going to be a whole pre-match thing. But the truth is, train could go either way at this point, Hugo. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, dude, trains, got a lot of trains on it. It's got 2 bomb sites, it's got NIP, it's got Mousesports, and it's got the train yard that we're jumping right into, the final map of this series, the decider between NIP and Mousesports. New look Mousesports with a recent entry fragger addition in the form of BMAS. NIP, they've made some changes this year as well, and they've got the big brain hampers to lead them.
Yep, 20v20. First time it's ever been done.
10 mans? Nah, man, I'm about those 40 mans, you know?
All right, I'm the captain, you're a captain. You get first 3 picks.
I don't even think I have enough friends to fill up a 20 on 20.
Oh man, that's
You
kind
can barely get 5 players in an MM game.
Yeah,
Harry,
that's
but,
true. Normally I get me and you and then 3 animals, and that's pretty much the extent of it. So let's
3
go.
stuffed animals at that. They're not even living, functioning animals. We're talking about the hard knocks of matchmaking.
Well, luckily, we've got some actual oxygen breathers in the server today to show us what they're made of. Deep breaths as NIP creepy crawl up Ivy.
Oh, Rez with an opener. Can he get any more? Can he get any more? That's the question we're asking. Frozen is running out of there, getting out of danger, and putting himself in the sandwich. But that there leaves him in the prying eyes of more danger. So now Rop's over here in heaven, holding on to this outside area. But they know, they've seen him. They've seen, what was it? Like a shoulder, a barrel? I couldn't tell. But they know that Rops is here. His cover's been blown. They're onto him. They know his real identity. And they deal with him up in the heavens. Twist doubling up. Chris spotted as well. His position's no longer a secret, and it all falls onto Carrigan and then to no one as NIP sweep that pistol round on the board.
Yeah, and they could have used a few extra players there, it seems. Didn't really go how they planned for it to.
No.
4 live on the NIP side at the end of the round with the bomb plant, and off the back of a 16-4 victory on Mirage. Just pack it up. This one's over.
Yeah, the wheels are turning for NIP now. That was a terrifying pistol, right? Wrapping Ivy, coming back through Sandwich, just rerouting. Mousesports think they're set up for it. Somehow a Glock beats a USP in that head-to-head between Rops and Twist. Don't know how. Nades up on that A site, but they are responded to by Mousesports. More damage onto NIP than the alternative, but they pick it up and they go back towards B. Hamper's often on his own, selling this fake, throwing utility, keeping Mousesports in the wrong place. And Nade does 2 damage, sadly. Looks pretty good. Yeah.
It looked like it was on track.
I think it like went into the ceiling bit above.
That corrugated cardboard type stuff.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
ceiling
yeah.
material usually will protect from a grenade blast. I think it's made out of like fiberglass or something. Probably make it worse.
Yeah, fiberglass. I was going to say great deterrent to a grenade.
Shrapnel now.
Almost as good as regular glass. I hear that hiding behind that's pretty banging as well.
Yeah, they can't see you. That's a go-to.
Yes, indeed.
Of course, Peppo think now.
Peppo think,
Well, Rez going to move in through upper, and down here at ramp, there is the Deagle on Rops, and it's here in a big way. Come on, give us a third. Yeah. There it is. Rops, why not 4? You're already, not 4 actually. You know what, that's a little too much to ask. Klopski still in a world of hurt. 1v4 required, and Chris J scouts him out of the round. An immediate reply from Mouse, and already this is looking better than Mirage.
Yeah. Definitely, right? They're 1/4 of the way. But firstly, more competitive. And I think that's what we're looking for, right? Whoever wins this one, we want it to be a bit of a bout, a bit of a back-and-forth battle. That last map was nothing like that. Chris, great shot with the scout, man. He's only had it a few rounds today, but he's hit some bangers. Rob's feeling good about his 3K as well. Locks down the B-bomb site. And now the Deegs, well, they're in the hands of the Swedes.
So, Hugo, just a brief history lesson here, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Because, you know, this could be one of those trash rounds. This is looking like it is with Frozen absolutely eradicating NIP via SMG. Just a little backstory here. Where's Woxic?
Benched, mate.
Got any more to that story? Or is
well, no, not really. That's all I'm privy to. Gone for the time being, but hopefully back in full force later on. It felt like when he played Cologne, like he knew, you know?
Yeah.
Right, like, great shot. Yeah, like it was expected. Obviously, BMAS was already on the roster at the time as a 6th man. He got moved up into, you know, pole position post-Cologne. Yeah, Woxic, his last game of Cologne Vertigo map, he wasn't even AWPing on it, Trace. We were like sitting there thinking, yeah, this is probably just round the corner. And somehow, some way, NIP, they're around the corner. They're around both corners, in B, in CT, everywhere in between. The swap doesn't matter. You said it was a trash round. It certainly started that way, but somehow ends in the favor of NIP.
Imagine that.
What?
Harry's over here mumbling about Woxic, and lo and behold.
Yeah, Harry, why'd you do that?
Why has he done that?
Just having a nice
Mountain Dew game
break.
Yeah, I see that. Well, we don't have too many of those, so don't drink them all, okay?
Try and stop me, man. When I'm pumped up on 3 of these, Trace, I'll I'll put up a bit of a fight. Not against you, though. Maybe against Hugo.
I wonder who would win out of you two. That's a very curious thing right there.
Hugo's got speed and agility, but I've just got, like...
the hammer fist.
Yeah, the hammer fist. That's actually patented name.
Special ability.
Oh, well, Carrigan, he's going to get hammer fisted out of the round by Rez. Chris J does respond.
Oh, God.
And, well, Frozen, just like looking at Made, even though they're already in the site, Chris still responded, still holding the line. But how much can you expect just one man to do? And the answer is 2 kills or thereabout. As BMAS and Robs have plunged into a 2-on-3.
And they've been discovered, too. That secret's up.
Yeah, NIP on this T side, they're so good at like throwing waves of attack at you. You're going to see Mousesports players looking the wrong direction on this CT side because NIP love, selling fakes in a way, not like faking the bomb side, but faking who's pushing first and coming up on the sidelines, right? Like one player running down Olaf that round, more coming through the E-box, and Mousesports nowhere to go, but back to Spawn. Unfortunately for them, Spawn is contaminated, mate. Rez is there. Though he hasn't seen BMAS inside a connector, checking it on a timing. We'll get away with this Deeg by the looks of things, or maybe I'm speaking too soon, as Rez goes up, above, and beyond. Goodbye, BMAS. It's only Robs. And this one ain't prettier for him either. Oh, no. The build, the CZ build, it strikes back with a vengeance.
Should have got his hands on a Tech 9.
CT side.
I know. He could have went over there to T-spawn and bought one, obviously.
Yeah, that's how it works. Just got to get there real fast. Do you remember the good old days? Maybe not the good old days.
The good old days now. Let's hear about them.
The days where, there was a 45-second buy time. And so what you could do, I did this a couple times, is you dust 2, you rush B, you don't buy on the pistol. You rush B, you get a kill, you run back to spawn, you buy a Mac 10. 1050, mate.
Yeah, I think that was used probably once or twice in pro match. It's pretty good. It was always entertaining.
Yeah, there's ways to do that. Your teammate could drop you a Deagle. You could get the kill with a Deagle. Obviously, still with $800.
A mid-crossing player.
Yeah,
reasonable shot.
Yeah, it's a pretty, it's not. Shot. You can't no one's looking at that like, yeah, I can hit that every time.
If they fight though.
Oh, there's a fight going on here.
Technically, that is still doable now, right? By logic, if someone drops you a Deagle in a pro game, you could get the kill in the first 15 seconds if someone gave you the fight.
I just don't know if Logic's that good at CS.
Yeah, I just don't know either. Somebody should at him and tag Harry in it.
Yeah, man, I'll speak with Logic. I'll be the guy to do that if need be.
I saw the T-Pain streams on Twitch, so
I saw that as well.
His intro to his stream was about the most hype thing I've ever seen for a streamer. So, all right, bet. Let's get him to call into the Pro League. T-Pain.
Yeah, why don't we get more we could get T-Pain, we could get Pusha T. Let's get them all to call in at once.
We'll get Pusha T and Drake in on the same call.
That would be...
And it'll just be like us three, and we'll just kind of sit here and we'll see what really happens. Like, how does this go down? And hopefully you got some questions prepared, Harry, because I don't even know what we'd say to those guys.
I think it's more about what they say to each other.
You're right. That's what we're really trying to get at.
Yeah.
But we don't want them to know about our game plan before they get here. Come on, guys.
Well, it was good that we didn't reveal it in any way, shape, or form ahead of time, right? So, at the end of the day, it's just us three sat in this room talking. So,
the lights off and everything.
Who knows? We do have the investment coming in for Mouse. And Frozen taking his little M4 into the pop. Bit of a spam exchange there. Both just goes straight into the junk folder as nothing happens. Plopsky, what you doing? Ooh. What are you doing, Plopsky? What are these spams you're trying to... Ooh! Frozen just deletes Hampus. He's had enough of having bullets land kind of near him, and he's like, I'll show you how it's done. That one kill. Easy. Easy for Frozen. Hampus now having to lead his team from beyond the grave. What's this ghostly apparition commanding right now? It looks like it's going to be an Ivy play. Frozen and Chris going to swap weapons out. And IP start to sneak their way down toward Ivy's side. Now there is a fast rotation available from Carrigan from this B site. But we do need at least one of these two players that are about to be challenged, the BMAS and Frozen, to hold their ground. If they both fall right away, this A site is right for the taking, no matter how fast the rotations are. And luckily enough, BMAS is able to win his side of the fight. Delays it for just a moment, but is that enough? Because Plopsky has just torn open the A side of the map, and it's only Rops left in the blink of an eye.
Damn, dude, the AUG on the T side, what a dirty weapon to entry with. He finds 3 into A. BMAS getting 1 on Ivy. The spray was good, the transfer, not transfer, but control. But NIP don't repeat back in. They get an off angle and Twist will trade. And now Rops, all to do. Not a lot of time nor weaponry to do it with, and he's been spotted as well. Twist with the info and hits a perfect shot. Rops also hits the shot, but unfortunately for him, it's an M4 that does the dink and nothing more. NIP keep up the streak on this T side, rallying rounds together. Just filth. Carrigan dying to his own weapon, his own famed AUG. Not much you can do about that one, huh? More ecoing for Mousesports. Rops is on a scout, and we have pistols around it. Oh.
Well, giving this AUG over to Plopsky has turned out to be the worst thing that's ever happened to Mousesports. Plopsky is already very, very deep as well, and they have no idea. Rez, he's done it, hasn't he? The round's done. Sorry, but that's it. EMAS all alone. Trapped in Ivy. What can he even do? He's got a CZ. It's a nice CZ. I'll give him that. It's the, I forgot the name of this one.
AK-47.
Yeah, that's the one. Thank you, Trace.
Gotcha, man. Anytime, Harry. 5 alive, though, for NIP. Seems like anytime they want to get into a bomb site, they can make it happen unless Rops is waiting around the corner. The only round that Mousesports has won thus far came on the back of some huge Deagle plays for Mr. Cool. Now the only thing that's cooled off for the Mousesports themselves, Bemis, the only one left alive with that CZ. As you said, you were somewhat attracted to the skin, Harry.
I think it's like the auto cat, if I remember, or something like that. It says cat on the side, so I know I'm close.
I think it's like the forced skin in that case.
But again, like attention drawn away, Popsky gets this pick, Rez drops out a pop with 2 more, and you see Mousesports not even looking at it, they're not even considering Pop Dog, still attuned to Popsky's position. And this is not the start the Mousesports wanted again. The T side beginning for NIP is such a danger. 6-1 up, double AWP out. Let's see what Mousesports can do.
Yeah, is this double AWP the difference maker that was needed? It's really going to have to be. That's a brilliant nade. Hampus.
Big nade.
Hampus just hates life now. He's going to get out of main.
He got wallbanged by the AWP as well at the same time. It wasn't just the nade.
I was going to say, that felt like way too good for a nade.
Yeah,
so it's going to be like a B play. Look at this. Hang on a moment, Trace. I didn't mean to cut you off, but look at this. Rops is cutting them down. Ramp. It belongs to Rops. He's in with 4. They try and go B. And, well, they end up taking a pretty destructive route into the site. Frozen there with the last as well. And so there we go. That's what it takes for Mouse to get themselves another on the board. Triple AWP was that. I swear I just saw 3.
And again, Rops holding it down, keeping it real for Mousesports. Oh, look at the fan cams. This guy's playing with his LED lights in the bottom right. So that's kind of cool, I guess.
It is 3 AWPs.
Ooh.
Yep.
And they're all on A. This is weird. Hey, let's see what oh, now it's 2 AWPs. So fans of the triple AWP, devastated already. Here's the reflash in for Frozen, one of the only rifled players, and boy, does he make his presence known. He's able to deal with 3 before the nade finishes him in the afterlife. And now Nork and Twist, well, they're still left in a kind of doable spot. Like, in spite of Frozen's best efforts, a 2-on-3 is not impossible.
This bomb is main, so even though Twist is clearing out upper halls and checking for aggression, yeah, he's got to come back and commit with his teammate or through the pop. This burns time off the clock, but it only makes Mousesports doubt themselves and start to consider that these T's are going towards B. It's not the case. BMAS is very passive, holding Ivy on a timing, and Chris, he's got to watch main and pop. Oh, I think they may have seen the barrel there. Or not. Twist is checking everything. BMAS is coming around the corner. Good timing. Gets a bit of damage off that. At least allows Chris to reposition and try and check for them. Jumped up on the site is Twist, deeper than Chris expected. Molly in the pop won't matter as he's a safe passive retake rotations for Mouse Sports. Robs, great shot, catches Nork on the angle, and Twist has to clutch.
Yeah, it's a pretty tall order. He goes up on the ladder, spots where these players are moving in from, and now tries to play around this bomb, but they know where he is. He sees a man on the train, looks for the fight, but BMAS is going to win it out. The defuse will come in, and Mouse, after that Rops 4K, find themselves another round here, this time on the back of Frozen.
Yeah, big plays there from Pop. I'm going to watch that one back. Get yourself one more. Ah, there it is. Triple op setup. Somehow, some way.
I do feel like, you know, whenever I see pros using the skins from like the new cases, all the really expensive ones, I used to be all caught up on it, and now I just don't know any of the names. Trace, do you still have your M4 skin?
Yes. The Faded Zebra, I call it. It's there. Not at the same time. Big plays from Frozen, his M4. Take the skin off Plopsky's teeth. So far, so good. Mouse Sports is starting this round off at an advantage.
All the feet. That's enough for Karrigan.
Boom.
Takes a grab at him and steals Rez's shoes away. Nork does drop down with a flashbang, but Karrigan has the cross, and Robs with another AWP is here as well. They're pushing through the smoke. Oh dear, they've taken a bullet to the face. Nork, he's still standing with his AWP on full health and going above the train, almost dropped by Robs. Karrigan, or Frozen rather, does it instead. There's everyone fighting on the lane side. NIP are looking to take kills back, but instead their hole is getting dug deeper. Mousesports have the shovel out, and right now Hampus might have to dig his own grave in this 1-on-4. Bomb is down under enemy control. 4 on the B-bomb site. This smoke gives away his position, and now all eyes are tuned and trained on ramp. Frozen, he hears the tags, and he knows what's coming.
Yeah, there's not really much Hampus can do there, is there? It's a very unlikely 1v4. As you say, the smoke gives away his position. But what else are you left with? You know, you don't smoke, you still die running down the ramp. You just have even less of a chance. So, yeah, this is like a nice recovery for Mouse. It's slow, but it's sure, and they're moving in the right direction. And that's what we wanted to see. And clearly NIP are feeling that pressure a little bit as well, because they've called in a tactical pause to try and figure out what the hell is going wrong in this one. We got the between Robs and a hard place sign. We got Van Mouse. Everyone's waving. Hi! Apart from the dude lying down in bed. He's just chilling out. He's having a great time.
There was a unicorn there, and you didn't even say anything about it, Harry.
Hey, there's so, honestly, my problem is I get like too homed in on just like one camera.
You're just trying to understand one walk of life.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm trying to understand one individual. I don't look at the whole, which, you know, good and bad, I guess.
It sounds pretty bad when you say it like that, but it is what it is, Harry.
Yes, indeed. Let's get us back on track.
And with the 4th round, it's gonna be these M4s.
Ooh.
Only one of them really, Plopsky, with a nice trade on the Frozen after having grabbed the initial pick.
What? Why is Twist jiggling? Robs, how does he know about him? Robs gets away with one, but when we traded, NIP were far too ready for that position, considering he didn't get spotted upper. And, ooh, Chris, he's crept in. They don't know. He's dropped the bomb. There's one above him, but backing up is Hampus, not wanting to commit into the AWP that took a shot. Up above the train is BMAS. He's already switched sides. Hampus now knows, but he goes into Chris. He can't get a good angle. BMAS flashing them both back, being a nuisance. Double AWP picked up for NIP. So look to make both these weapons work to get the bomb back. It's not an easy task, but through the smoke, oi, oi. Hampus is going deep. BMAS has got to clear this, and he does. Great shot, leaving Nork on the AWP up above. Oh, we've all been there.
Timing. Oh, Chris J just deletes him. And, you know, this was Crisp J, exactly, man. And, you know, that's the thing. Like, this was feeling so one-sided, you know. NIP, they were 6-1 up. How could we ever forget that? But we could be forgiven for forgetting that. As now it's 6-5. Suddenly, Maus are closing this gap. And we are seeing them grind their way back into this. And, you know, we got Frozen kind of leading the charge right now. And all it's going to take is a few more to start to follow in his footsteps, like Rops has been doing, who's always so great over in this B site. And then slowly but surely, the rest of the team can come alive around it. Rops is donning this secondary AWP again over towards the connector. And with only pistols on the other side, outside of that one hero AK on the back of Rez, these AWPs have got a lot of say in this round, with very little to contest them.
Yeah, Rez is going to have to muscle up, do some heavy lifting in this one. Chris is watching from the boost in T-Con as well, or in Con, rather. Oh, team kill, but Rez does follow up with the tip taps, taking Chris back. BMAS trades through a smoke, and Karrigan is on the edge of one as well. Rops has fired off one AWP. There's the second going to life as well. And Plopski, well, he might just be dead here. He does take a kill, but now everyone alerted to his position. Rops running him down. The call was made. He was low, and Rops does not wait. As Mousesports, they've really pulled the old comebackaroo here, 5 in a row. Now up to 6-6. This was a dominant start for NIP, but Mousesports, this double AWP, some nice inner holds. They've come up with solutions, and NIP now have to pull the rabbit out of the hat in the last 3 rounds of the half if they want to win it out.
And at least for NIP, you know, last round, they do get pop control. It's not really just, you know, taking over and Frozen running the show there. They have something. But at the end of the day, here we go. It's a bit of an Ivy pop. Ivy play with the bomb in as well. Now mid has been conceded. It's weird how this map, or rather how this game works. You just take a little map control and you play the round out.
Yeah, that looks to be the aim of the game right here, right now. NIP moving up through Ivy. No one actually keeping an eye. Well, Karrigan is keeping an eye on it, but... Oh, Chris, he is a man made of steel. He's somehow still alive. He does take that as the invitation to leave main, and I think that's a pretty good idea. So he backs out. Karrigan now, he's been holding on to Ivy all damn round, waiting for a peek. And here it comes. Smoke goes down. Karrigan cut off the angle. But if I know NIP like I think I know NIP, they might have something to do with going through this smoke. They boost a man up over the top of it. They flash Frozen in the meantime on the mouse side into main, and he makes a bit of a mess. They do try and go through the smoke, but Karrigan, he's privy to it. Flash through, Karrigan back on the angle, misses the second time around, and that's given a little bit of room over to these 2 stragglers for NIP, but BMAS and Frozen, they combine for a kill onto Twist, no less. And that leaves Nork in the hot seat. He's not able to breach his way into that site. And so Mouse, they actually take the lead, which, as I say, this is 6-1 in favor of NIP at one point in time. And since that point, Mousesports have won every single round.
Yeah, great communication from Mousesports as well, right? Even though when they lose Chris in main and he has to bail out, Karrigan, who's on top of the red train, has to reposition as well. And he does so to post up for Ivy. He sets up for the CT wrap. And even though they don't go for CT, they come through the smoke. Karrigan's still pivoting while Frozen's getting flashed in main. Very proactive play from Mousesports, not just waiting for NIP to make the move, as they often have been. They are the ones to push the boat out. NIP lost at sea right now, no money either. Got an AK on Plopski. You can buy up rifles here, but you won't have grenades behind them, so it's pick one or the other. NIP go for both, but spread it thinly across. Plopski at the top of the board has to do everything here for NIP.
A little bit of a timeout here. Shouldn't run us any more than 60 to 90 seconds, if I had to guess. Just off the top of my head, of course.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're not even a believer anymore, Hugo.
No, well, I believe in you, Trace. Sure.
Ah, there we go.
I'm sure what you're telling is the truth.
Well, I mean,
your map picks have been great. You're guessing on how long the pauses have been great.
Winning or predicting that NIP will win this game, probably going to happen too.
Strong statement, Trace.
That is a strong statement, especially considering that they have lost the last 6 rounds in a row.
You guys just don't believe, okay? Let's just pretend that like 87-0 And that never stopped, but like, you know.
We'll just pretend like it never stopped.
Yeah.
And that they're still...
Well, they're going to go
many
88-0 if they win this series.
And they're going to... Oh, okay, dude,
Different players now,
Different
many years
game
on.
completely, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, it never stopped, as we have all come to believe on the basis of this conversation.
Hypothetical conversation, of course.
Yeah, hypothetical conversation here.
Very pathetical.
Also, I got some sad news, guys. I got some sad news.
Oh,
Not surprised. 2020 keeps on.
Dude, Crossy, he let me know on Twitter that they actually patched that out, the Mac 10 buy and the pistol. You can only buy $800 worth of stuff. Didn't know they did that, apparently a while ago. But yeah.
Oh, Hugo, you didn't know that? Jesus Christ.
No, dude, guess not.
Cheese and rice.
I can't believe that Hugo didn't know.
Wow.
I would have just, you know, if I was Hugo, I wouldn't have even thanked the guy for letting me know. Or at least this is how I imagine Hugo was going to deal with it.
Yeah,
He'd just come out like, oh, no, actually, I've just remembered.
I just remembered.
Yeah.
Oh, the point I went on earlier, actually, take it all back. None of it's true. But it is a cool idea nonetheless. Now, let's get back in our time machine 4 years ago to when this bug worked and when Nip were 87-0.
Man, we all remember this Nip squad going 87-0. Now, that's something that takes you back, right?
Oh. They're about up to 800-0 at this point.
Led by Plopsky with the AK.
Just like they were back in the day.
Yeah.
At the height of the 87-0 antics. And here it is, NIP. They need some of that old school Nip magic that we so often associate with this squad. Because right now things are looking dire. And that 87-0 streak, it's all on the line. So Rez trying to keep this one moving forward. Keeps moving forward. Over back towards teammate. Smoke goes down and that will keep NIP at bay. At least for now.
Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race, eh? And there's no rush for NIP. They're at their station already. Smoke going over Ivy from a twist. It's going to land in the face of BMAS. He goes ahead of it. Flash in the face as well. Wow, it's really not great. Freiburg coming up Ivy now with the Deeg. BMAS on the other side. A tale as old as time. Oh, that's not the Freiburg we expected. He falls. Now it's up to Get Right and Forest in main. Coming out quickly. They're going to get mowed down. BMAS with another. Chris, he's going to drop Exist. And now it's all down to one man and one man only. Jeff Flaren also unable to turn the tide. It's Mouse Sports up to 8.
Man, yeah.
Really rolling it back there.
Eco Sports now in control. The German team, led by the Bosnian
All right, dude, this is spinning me out.
Oh, dear. What year is this?
I think it's 2020, but if we're trying to forget about that too, then we can. I think everyone's kind of in agreement that 2020 should just go away.
Oh, no, there's an AK in Spawn.
AK in Spawn.
You don't need that where you're going.
It's round 15, and so, you know, maybe it's like for one of the AWP players, but surely one of the M4 guys should have grabbed that. M4 guys, more like M4 guys, am I right? As Chris J takes one of the dome, he's out. He's been eliminated from this round, and now we look towards the rest. Or should I say, the Rez, as he's over here above Pop Dog, waiting for Frozen. BMAS trying to hold on to Olaf. They know that Hampus was out here being a nuisance, being annoying, and he's going to continue being exactly that. They try and deal with him. It only makes the problem worse. Nork has already gotten a little too close for Carrigan's liking. And there's Ropswin with the trade, but it's still a huge advantage with NIP that Rops is doing his damnedest to reclaim. Rez is like, by the way, guys, I still have Frozen and Pop. He's still here. He's still shooting at me. Can somebody do something? And that's where Hampus is hoping to come in and be the hero we need him to be. Ooh. Now, while they've kept Rez here, Rops is like, I'll take the fight. You can't, if you can't, Frozen, I'll do it. There you go, easy. Don't know why you took so long to even do that. As now we're into a 2-on-2.
Yeah, Rops is going for the ace in this one. If Frozen doesn't steal it away, really, Mouse Sports are just after a 9th, but NIP have had time to spread out in the site. Oh boy, important utility for Rops. Hampus is close. Trying to stop him from getting out of main, waiting for the right time to strike, and he spotted him, but oh dear, miss Molly. Rops just has to commit, throw everything at this site right now because the bomb is ticking down. Hampus shot down by Rops on 4, one more, it's Twist at the back of Connector.
Bomb is ticking away, and it's almost ticked past the point. 4 for Rops. It would be a travesty to lose the round now, but a spray is perfect for Twist, and that's it. That's the round. That's the half. Nip are going to put up 7, and we are split right down the middle here. Mouse Sports versus the Ninjas in Pajamas. We're cut to a brick break. Maybe a quick break even at the top of that. We'll be right back, everybody.
Will you follow me under when I'm crumbling? Every night I wonder, will it ever end? Sometimes I can barely breathe, dear. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. I'm leaving, but they follow me. Will you follow me under when I'm crumbling? Every night I wonder, will it ever end? Sometimes I can barely breathe, dear. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Will you follow me under? Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here.
All right. Well, Flopsky smiling, so should you. Actually, you should sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We do have one in front of us, and it's a best of three. We're on the third map right now between the Ninjas of Pajamas and Mouse Sports, and so far, it's been a little bit of a back and forth, topsy-turvy sort of wave we're riding around here. I've got Harry and Hugo to help me deliver this content, but also they're delivering the majority of it, which leads me to believe that I should tell you and warn you that we are in a little bit of a pause here. I'm going to remind you that we have Vitality versus Strawless after this in a best of three. So that one's pretty exciting. But for the time being, here are the numbers across terrain. Harry, just give me kind of like a surface level overview of just like what you're thinking about right now in this moment.
Well, I'm thinking that Mouse Sports have really impressed me with the resilience here. You know, you think about it, they were getting bodied early on, you know, 6-1 down, and then suddenly they're able to claw it back to a state in which they've actually won out the half 8-7. Like, that's impressive, that's tenacious, that's resilience. And it's been Frozen and Rops getting them there, which makes it even better, because these are the two players in my mind that you want showing up in the server to make this a competitive series after all.
And Rops showing up in a big way, in a lot of different ways over there on the inside of the map, which is ultimately given Mouse Sports something to work with. Now you see why we're delayed a little bit. Chris J having to clean off the old the old bifocals there and really give this one a good, clean, hard look. But for us, I mean, I think that this is probably the best time, Hugo, for an educational block. What do you think?
Yeah, what would you like to learn about? I see you've got a massive book there, Trace.
Well, you know, I was on about a page 969, and I realized that I wanted to know a little bit more about Inferno. So let's do that with a pro tip.
Hey, Future Pros. Retaking the B site on Inferno can be pretty tough. However, the Molly or Incendiary I'll show you all today will help clear out one of the little hidey holes a T could be in. To throw this Molly, secure runes first. Then get into the corner next to the sandbags. Aim up and place your crosshair in the midsection of the ruined roof between these 2 points. Get your crosshair in line with this kink in the scaffolding, then simply running jump throw the Molly. As you can see here, this T did smoke the Molly, but from this angle you can see that the Molly does in fact completely coat the area in flames. Good luck and happy retaking.
Well, it's just Hugo and I. We've actually sent Harry on to somewhere else he never thought he would be, which happens to be right there underneath the desk.
Yeah, what's up? Hang on, there we go. Hi. Yeah, man, this is proven to be a long one, so I'm just chilling out as we have a little break.
You know, it'd be really cool since we do have this big green screen if we could like holographically put you right here, even though you're not.
Yeah, it'd be nice to not have Harry physically on the desk, but more just.
All right, just for that, I'm peering up now.
Oh, there it is.
Right, what's
Reverse
up?
Psychology, it always works.
Yeah, it does. And a little bit of a tech pause just to remind you all while we're back on screen. You might be saying, "Well, stop talking, start the match," or giving one of them Scottish accents with something like that.
Mate, I can't just do it on this. I'm on the ground, man. I'm physically, Scottish people. They're like. They're tall, they're scary, you know, they're meant to be like all up in your face. I can't do that from down here. When I'm not stood on the box and you see my real height, I'm actually a lot shorter than both of you.
Yeah.
4'5".
It's not really what I expected. Yeah, he's about 4'4", 4'5", something like that.
Good day.
It's meters, though.
Yeah, man. All right, so at this halftime junction, we have an 8-7 scoreline. So just to kind of briefly catch everyone up here, in the third map of the series, it's kind of gone split right down the middle, Harry.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what 8-7 is, right? That is the middle, as close as you can physically get to it. And as we were saying, like, it was a hell of a comeback from Mouse. Now, NIP, they're in a spot, right, where they're going to get tested. And that's the thing. They're moving on to this CT side. I don't know. I want this to be like a full 30-round game, if I'm being honest.
A real belcher.
Nuke was competitive, right? Nuke was competitive. It might have looked like it was going to be a blowout for Mouse early on, but NIP were able to drag their way back into it. And I hope that's kind of what we get here on Train as well. I want to have a good T-side from Mouse. I want Rops and Frozen to keep putting up these numbers. I want to see a little bit more from the AWPs on this Mouse Sports squad. I feel like that's going to be needed to go toe-to-toe with someone like Nork or Hampus on the other side. And mate, this needs to be a long game. It does. I want to have a really good conclusion of this series.
Yeah, I mean, I like Mousesports as much as the next guy. Maybe not the guy next to me, because this guy really is a big Mousesports fan. But
not as much as the next guy.
Yeah, maybe that guy, the guy next to you.
Guy that picked Nip, right, of course. Yeah,
of course. Well, they're an exciting team and definitely cool storylines. But right now, if we look at standings and we want to make this group nice and spicy, I hope, well, no, not that I hope NIP wins, but if they do win, what that would do is lift them up from the dirt. Right now, despite having a great run at Cologne and getting all the way to the semis, they actually fell to Vitality there. They fought to Vitality in their opener of EPL, and Complexity beat them as well. So right now they're 0-2 as one of the top teams in this group, at least off of recent online results. So that's kind of sad to see NIP down there in the dumps right now, alongside teams like FaZe and Spirit. But even Spirit have a win to their name. So yeah, right now NIP, this win, especially considering we're at the focal point, we're in the last half of play, at least of regulation. This needs to be theirs. Like, they need to rise from the ashes, from the dust, and get in this group, Trace. Because 0-2, that's not where we expect NIP.
Well, we are just waiting on that one player. We should be just a few seconds out. I'm told that it was Bemis. So if you wanted to direct or channel any of that,
yeah,
we're not going to allow you to do that, but I guess you could nonetheless. Now, I just want to ask you one key question here, Hugo, before we jump back into the game. And it's, what do you say to the people that say you don't sound anything at all like you look?
Then, I don't know. I've never been asked.
It's a strange one,
I get
right?
that a lot. People, whenever I'm like comming and matchmaking, people are like, dude, this is a common question. Dude, how old are you? I'm just like, young, like 20, 22.
20, 22.
In that region, they're like, man, I thought you were 40. I'm like, no, definitely not.
Not where I was trying to take this, but I guess.
So no, I have nothing to say to them, you know?
Well,
Keep on being happy.
Fighting talk there from Hugo 40-year-old Byron.
Yeah.
Big Stick Byron is what they call him. Big Stick Byron. He's got that big stick. He's swinging.
Man. Yeah, he's swinging it, swinging it around. And
we swing into the game.
Yeah,
let's do that. In 1 minute. See, I tricked you. I knew.
Yeah, I like that.
But we are just a few seconds out. Again, we have to run all the proper tests and protocols, and obviously the safety guidelines here for connecting to an online match. We want to make sure that everyone stays safe and no one gets COVID via the Ethernet cables.
No, yeah. Well, thankfully, I don't think that's a thing. But, you know, like, we got LAN coming up as well. That's an exciting thing that's going on, right? Because that's the thing. We're talking about all these online results, and everyone, you know, we've made do with online. It's been nice. It's been a good treat to still have CS to watch. But when it gets back to LAN, that's where things get exciting. That's where so many of these questions that we've had, like, all year, like, it's been like a weird period of limbo for Counter-Strike where we don't really know who's on top, who's the best team. When we finally have LAN right before Christmas as well, so the timing just couldn't be better. We're going to get all those answers to 2020, really, in one go. Just boom, right there.
It's right off the top.
How good's that?
Yeah, and you got to think about 8 teams, and we have no idea about, you know, how qualification works or those things. But for us to kind of just even think about what 8 teams is a very spicy subject by itself.
Yeah, and $500,000 on the line. Not bad, Chase. Not chump change by any means.
It's not like a landlord jerking you around type money. We're talking big buckaroos.
Yeah.
The guap, the dinero.
We're looking at landlords, not landlords, you know? Like,
okay,
there you go, man. There you go.
We should be jumping back into train any second, and I'll keep that one kind of like right here. In this front pocket, just in case I have to use it at some point. It's not bad, though. Law of the land, you know, something like that. There's so many different ways you could run with that one. For us, though, we do look to be running back into the game at a merciful pace here anytime soon.
Right, I'm pulling up a chair.
Yeah,
this is going to take a while, right? Let's kick it back into podcast
on the floor for a change.
Yeah, I mean, he was laying on the ground. Now he's
my shoes don't go comfortably up on the desk.
There we go.
There we go. That looks good, man. You look very relaxed right now.
I'm ready to get back in the game. This isn't really just like a, you know, a lackadaisical affair here. There's music.
Okay.
We've been misled by this before.
Yeah, but the last one is the music. So what is this?
This is something. This is for this pose, man. This is what it is.
Thank goodness, Mousesports NIP, it continues. The game you've all been waiting to see and we've been waiting to talk about. It's the second half, a bit of a lead, 8-7 right down the middle in favor of Mousesports. And boy, are they looking to take it over the line.
That's right, though, NIP fans, fear not. They're still in this fight, 8-7. And Hugo wasn't kidding, and I actually thought we had like My Chemical Romance queued up there for a minute, but we don't.
Copy right now.
Pistol round now. Do love to see a good Glock fade in the game. And a nice P250. However, it's going to get traded out immediately. It's Rez onto Rops after the first kill of Hampus. His dreams were dampness.
Yeah, I think you said Hampus for damnedness or something like that. But this might prove to be a pretty wet-ass pistol round here. As BMAS and Chris J, they're looking to try and jimmy their way into this B site. BMAS gonna get the bomb down. They've slipped past NIP. Chris J's wrapping all the way through Ivy. This is the longest possible rotate he could come in on. BMAS taking up position over towards Oil. Chris J still running. Still running. He's got no choice but to come sprinting in for the save. Half the time ticked off this bomb. NIP gonna drop a smoke onto it. That could be a disaster. Twist has a kit as well. He's on it. BMAS. Oh, it's not gonna happen. The defuse comes in and NIP, it's as easy as that. They get on the bomb, they hold E, they win. Now they tie us up at 8-8.
Try it at home. It works. Yeah, Twist even defuses from the Oil side, so BMAS is like, has to go wide to actually get him off the defuse. And also, worth noting, like, not a big detail at all, but something I spotted, BMAS is shooting for the head down low. He's expecting Twist to be crouched, as most players do. They crouch on the defuse to duck shots. But actually, Twist is standing. So the shots are actually landing at his legs. Even though there's some connections, it's not doing much damage. That's, yeah, mega brain for Twist. Yeah, one step ahead of the game.
It's basically, hog wop at that joint, like that junction, you know. making up my own emotes now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know that one.
It's not really a thing.
Double B for NIP, and oh boy, it's going to get messy, churning them down. Hampus on the ramp. Hampus dead after one. Rob's going to trade it. He still takes a lot of damage there. That actually forces quite the rotation towards it.
Yeah, quite the rotation indeed.
And immediately, not the rotation, as NIP double back.
Guys, there's no one else. So maybe we go back to A. And lo and behold, they've gone back to A. It's the classic call. Stalemate.
You don't want to be stale,
mate.
Wow.
Oh dear. Well, this might be our last season after all. Frozen coming in through main. Twist. Flashed. Blinders are back. And only good for one before Frozen trades. It's just a skirmish for A, and it's everyone fighting here in this site. Frozen is the only man keeping things even right now. Karrigan's gonna get into the site and get that bomb down. That nade somehow doesn't do a lot of damage. Karrigan don't have armor either. He's just running this one nude and looking to lock it in. Plopsky gets the info as to where one of these players is. Karrigan's just dancing around the train. He's streaking these together. And now Plopsky's been dodged by the man up on green. He's wrapped around behind, but Karrigan holds his ground. And so Mouse Sports, they come in with a reply very, very quickly there after the bomb plant. They go 9-8 up. Karrigan retrieving that AK proved to be a blessing in disguise as they win the round out on the back of it.
Yeah, man, he's like a ballerina. He's just dancing around the site, not giving a fight, just spinning and...
elegant.
Yeah.
All of those things, yeah,
Impossible to hit.
We'll ask him about that if they win. We'll say that you called him. You're a little ballerina, I think were your words.
Definitely didn't call him that, but...
Ballerina.
It's fine, there's no evidence, there's no VOD, delete it.
Oh, okay.
NIP forcing back in here. They want another piece of the action. And they might get it towards B. Mousesports with 4. Frozen setting up utility. Holding on to the Ivy push as well. Smoking pop. No one going there for Mousesports. They're going to molly smoke it. Trying to clear that one out. Trying to deny any flanks. But Frozen will be coming in late to deal with that if there are, which there aren't. And Hampers needs some help here on B. Might just be a save here for NIP.
I hate the sound of the footsteps on that metal. Just goes right through me. So that was fun. Fans of High Octane CS, don't worry, because it is coming. Rest assured. 10 on the board for Mouse now. These Deagles trying to take guns away. Frozen. He's been given a bit of a shooting gallery here. Everyone's having their go at it. Yeah. Still, the Deagle stands tall. For Nork, he's like, yeah, I'm done. Bye. Runs away. Mouse Sports. Reach double digits. Still no money for NIP. So when I said the High Octane CS was coming, that's next round. Keep waiting. It's going to be worth it. Of course, BMAS, there he is. Of course, in his dark room. Can't actually see him.
He's not taking the lens off his cap.
Oh, that's it. That's the one.
Old lens cap.
All been there, of course. I remember recording 2 hours for a vlog and then realizing the lens cap was on, and then I stopped vlogging forever.
Oh, man.
That was my first and last attempt.
It was a cool vlog, I guess.
That was the podcast.
Well, Nork never saw that coming either. And this A crunch looking to come in for Mouse. I'm going to burn this A site to the ground. And as they move in, there's not much in the way of resistance, is there? So this is nice, it's clean, and it's exactly what it needs to be for mousesports. It's 11 on the board, and this is where things are going to start to get a little bit interesting. Now, Hugo, I think during our little extended halftime break, you touched upon something that was actually a really good talking point, and that is for NIP. Yeah, you did, man. I know, I'm surprised, but it's fine, right? NIP, they played 2 games thus far. They've lost both of them. They're currently second to last. The only team that's doing worse than they are is FaZe, and they're 0-3. But for NIP, they come off the back of a really good performance at Cologne. We had a lot of expectations for them here over in this kind of group of death, as it's been dubbed. And a loss to Mouse would put them in a really rough spot. And on top of that, it would be great for mousesports because they would be top of the group alongside Complexity. And so, you know, like, I feel like either way this ends, there's a lot that we can take away from it. Either NIP are able to start to dig themselves out of this hole that they find themselves in, or mousesports show the value of this change that they made, right? A change that for a lot of people was met with like a mixed reception. You know, I think a lot of people wanted change in Mouse, but when Woxic was the man to go, for a lot of people that was like, wait, what? You know, like, because he really did seem like a very good player in this team.
Yeah.
Now, Frozen tries to run the gauntlet. Doesn't go well for him. And so already NIP have kicked this off with a man advantage.
They'd actually rebounded for Rops. Didn't look like his intention. Meant to bounce and hit Popsky. It just goes below the ladder. Double bounce. AK retrieved. The spam could be good, but oh dear, BMAS gets into the smoke. There's already a player out deep. Karrigan, he is all over this site, but he can't find Popsky in the pop. Drop in for Robs. Oh dear, it's a good flash, and it keeps him back. Res does trade. Nork on the AWP keeps things in the favor of NIP, but Chris is getting closer, and he's crisscrossing into the site, dropping one more with the AWP. There's the Conpi campus trades at NIP. Just so many waves of defense on this A site. Everyone here ready and waiting, up to 9. And there was the high-octane action that we've been waiting for. It took a couple of ecos, but it finally came through. And yeah, Rob's classic trick, dropping the flash into the smoke, and Plopsky looks away. There's just so many ways to get down into Pop Dog. You can even fake a flash, just drop it above Pop, and often players will turn at just the sound of it alone. Rob's got his fair few tricks.
Karrigan back on the AWP, gonna get boosted by Chris J. It's a tower of AWPers, and Karrigan misses the timing there. Looked right at Plopsky, but just didn't pull the trigger.
And Plopsky comes out of that one surprisingly low on 8 HP, but still gets the job done in what is now a 4v4, 11-9. And look at where NIP are right now. They're in like between the two sites, not really entirely sure. Now they're leaning more towards the inner. Bombs back T main. And maybe start to become more apparent the more mousesports players perish outside. Chris J takes an op shot, finds and connects with Twist. Now they're inside this outside site. As confusing as that may sound, it's pretty easy. Outer is compromised. Rops fights in the connector, and the bomb should be planted momentarily. It's gonna be a pinch here, 2-on-2. Rops unsure, but that peek is going to come for Pop Dog. It's going to stop the bomb plant. Chris J halted in his tracks. Now it's just Rops. 40 seconds left on the clock with the bomb in hand. He wants to know where the second player is. He's going to tap the bomb. Look at this big brain, big IQ play. They have absolutely no idea. Rops has swindled them. And actually going back to the Ivy side.
Oh no, he could have gone in. He just wasn't to know that Plopsky's on this side. He's trying to wrap back, but when he goes for the plant, Plopsky still hasn't actually moved out aggressively, so he's in the perfect position to deny this. Now Plopsky moves. Now he makes his play, and Rops with a Molotov that won't even land. Plopsky hears him running and takes him down. That's so unfortunate for Rops. He hits the timings, but he doesn't check the corners, and that will be NIP up to 10. Someone's fallen asleep. Someone was legitimately sleeping in the fan cam.
Resident sleeper in the chat, everyone, for that one gentleman. Perhaps he goes back and watches the VOD, or he was faking it. We'll never really, truly know. Unless we just keep that camera open at all times, in which case we're not doing that either.
I mean, hey, he's in the fan cams with it just rolling, so I guess we'll know. We'll have to wait and see, but we'll try and keep it down for our sleeping friend. So now, Mousesport's going into B. And then throw in all these smokes. And Nog, ooh, tries to play through the one-way. I can't keep that up forever. Sorry, guys, it's your fault.
Wake up!
Twist. Closing the distance, getting out through the connector, but Frozen putting on a bit of a show, completely annihilates this attempt at the retake. And already, that's a save for NIP. That's a little bit of a gut-wrenching round to lose, right? You're up against not even a full buy on the Mousesports side. They hit you with a B rush, kind of as simple as it gets. And you just fall short. And the moment those 2 kills come in from Frozen, the round was basically over and done with. You were relying on a hero to step up. And the more they tried to make those plays happen, the worse the disadvantage got for NIP.
Yeah, this certainly does have the makings of a 30-rounder, Harry. It's what you wanted. It's what you called here in this third map of the series. And it might be what we get. Certainly makes up for the 16-4 that NIP handed Mousesports. Signed, sealed, and delivered to their doorstep back on Mirage. But this time they are going to have to pay for delivery. It's Mousesports up to 12 now.
The news is in. Alex confirms Vitality departure. Now, where could he go?
I can't put my finger on it, man. Where
There's not like any like British teams out there.
Well,
so
you could get like Rattlesnake, and you could get maybe a couple of those guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Weber.
Yeah, bringing back the old guard.
I mean, Fifth Flaren.
Flaren, my favorite British player, of course.
Right.
Oh, where's this? Not bad.
That one landed significantly better than the one we saw before. And even then, it still wasn't a whole lot.
In, out, in, out. Shake it all about. Rez is dodging the nades, but he's got to get away as the fire hits the floor. More fire to be found. Mousesports clearing everything they can out on this A-bomb site. E players peeling back. Chris and Robs coming to spawn. Karrigan hoping someone makes his day, gets aggressive, but with a smoke down in main, it's just Rez holding on nice and safe. Mousesports, they're going to group up Ivy. They're lining up something here in spawn. Taking their sweet time while they do. Bomb on its own here. It's going to get flashed in, but if this bomb gets lost, that could be a catastrophe here for Mousesports. Rez, they know there's likely someone close. Util going over. Rez pop flashed himself back in. Chris won't fall for it. He was already tucked tight, and he will say goodnight. Double entry for Chris. Twist on Ivy with one more, and he's dropped it Frozen with the Deagle crossing out as well successfully. Still standing in the A site. Chris is trying to keep him trapped, but Plopsky, with the attention drawn, drops the bomb with 20 seconds left.
Robs is going to go through the smoke, tries to make a big boy play, and has dealt with Hampus. 10 seconds though, Molly on the bomb, Twist now wrapping around. They've got to retrieve it, they've got to get this bomb planted. And it might have all just fallen apart. Plopsky there to tear it away right at the very end. And NIP, they steal it with the pistol armor. 3 from Twist, no less as well. From the Ivy side.
He's woken up.
Oh, dude, good morning, sleepyhead. Welcome. We're still here with NIP versus Mouse. We'll catch you up, seeing as you had a little snooze there. You haven't really missed much, apart from that little partial investment victory for NIP, and this game getting closer and closer. So I say you haven't missed much. You've missed a lot, and I can't catch you up single-handedly.
Mousesports, they're going for a bit of a catch-up on B. They've not seen this site in some time. NIP have already rotated a player in. Nork is here on that AWP. Hampus with a molly, drop down on the ramp. Mousesports gonna have to smoke if they want to go through, and they do, but Hampus is ready and waiting. 2 through the smoke. Robs trades from upper, but Nork, no line of sight with this AWP. He can't even stop the bomb either. Robs is getting closer by the second and could deal the killing blow, but players coming out CT, so it's not clear for Robs just yet. There's the shot. Plopsky peeks, Robs doubles down, and it couldn't have been more perfect than that in the timing that he gets peaked. Now Mousesports, surely a locked-in round. NIP can give it a go. They can give it a look in as Rez comes in on the back line, but Twist has already run to save the AWP. Rez Not a chance for him either at that point.
No resolutions in this round.
Damn right.
Did you just blow a gasket, Harry? What was that?
Laughing.
Oh. It's like you can't really tell where that's coming from. Is it like coming out of your nose or?
I don't even know, man. It hurts a lot to do, so I think I'm limited to like 2 a day. The last tag pause called in for NIP.
Rightfully so. Just 3 rounds away from securing the series or Mouse Sports. Thought that was Prius down the bottom left for a second.
I'm seeing a lot of people with like duvets on them. Like they are all getting ready to sleep. Is that what this series is doing?
Well, I think everybody's just, they're also kind of excited about the matchup at hand coming after this. And, rightfully so, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, whoever could forget the El Clasico matchup.
A big Vitality, Australis.
Yeah, dude, they're actually picking up Renegades, the entire roster, adding them. They're teaching them Danish. It's a long-term project.
Like, at what point are we not trolling up here? We're just straight lying.
No, that was a straight line. Yeah. Damn, you caught me.
Oh,
shocker.
Hampus trying to get stuck in, but it's Rez to deliver. Looking for even more, and Rez just tearing it down. Carrigan all alone, and he's legged Plopsky as he soars through the air like an F-16. He just deletes him with the MP9. And so NIP, they steal a round back. They seem so good in these like pistol rounds. I don't get it. I don't understand. Mouse, they try and pick up the pace, and in doing so, they just run to their death quickly.
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword, right? Like the argument that, they're on pistols, we can go fast, we can try and overwhelm the site. Hopefully they've stacked B. There's no utility, all those reasons. And, well, you just run into wave upon wave of SMG up close pistol. A rifle on Rez does so much, though. Big round for NIP. Again, it's just back and forth. No one has had 2 in a row since NIP got their 10th. And we're way past that. This is going to be damaging to Mousesports' economy, though. And yeah, they buy up here. I was wondering, that's a bit of a danger, but they don't want NIP to tip the scales in their favor at 13-13 on the CT side. So they look to keep the lead. Try and get it up one more. 2 Tech-9s to do so, Galil and Double AK. Do they slow it down, or do they run the gauntlet once again? Already out main is one man. It's Carrigan going deep. Molly lands. He's going to get past it. He has the smoke to buy him room, to buy him time. And Twist, oh my! He flinks back. He was not ready for that. Mousesports trying to pounce on him while he's taking blank shots, but BMAS now shot through the smoke. How has this round tipped on its head? Mousesports had so much control, and now they're all dead.
I just feel like there's going to be a tech pause here any second. And with that said,
oh no,
you just kind of have to account for it at this point. 13-13, there's not a better point for a tech pause other than never.
I hate your clairvoyancy, man. I hate it.
You're one step ahead of the game. How do you know? Are you sabotaging?
Big ass book I had a second ago.
Yeah,
it told me everything I needed to know.
Script, of course.
Yeah. So anyway, shouldn't be too long of a pause. And with that in mind,
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
3 hours later.
That was a mad round, though, right? Like, Carrigan gets so deep. Twist is spamming the smoke. He gets rushed on Ivy. Like, whoever rushed him down, I feel for them because they did it perfectly. And Twist just hits the most unreal flick shot. It's nice to see him on the second AWP as well, right? Like, it is map dependent. We see Hampus take the second AWP on a place like Inferno. And that's because Nork will AWP short and Twist will play apartments with him and kind of divvy up those roles and support his teammate. But, Twist, as an ex-AWPer, an ex-primary AWPer at least, knows what his teammates need to do to support him, so can be helpful in that sense as well. And when we've spoken to NIP in interviews, everyone has said that, like, yeah, Twist had no issue giving up this AWPing role, letting other people play it. But it is nice to see him on the second AWP on a map like Train, especially when Hampus is solo inner, right? You don't want to leave your AWP solo inner when there's a ramp rush. there's so many players who can get away with multi-kills. Rops is one of them when he's alone on that B-bomb site above the Grey Train and a ramp rush comes in. The amount of 4Ks I've seen from Rops there, Deagle, M4, SMG, doesn't matter. And so it makes sense as to, you know, position based on each map. Hampus solo inner for NIP and often supported by that rotate of Nork anyway. But yeah, Twist finding a stride and NIP, they bite the bullet as Mousesports buy up in back-to-back rounds and find 13 of their own.
And if you're tuning in expecting to be watching Astralis Vitality, the game that was meant to be starting, what, 8 minutes ago now, you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute. This isn't Vitality. This isn't Astralis. Yeah, there's Adane in the server, but he hasn't been on Astralis in years. And so, yeah, you wouldn't be wrong. And the reason why is because this game has just been so damn close. And then also, yeah, there's been a few tech pauses, but we gloss over that part. This is quite nice, I think. It gives us like a bit of time to put some perspective on all of this, chill out, fly around the map. Everyone's having a good time. We're all having a laugh, and that's what's so important here.
I like this camp path right here. It's very soothing because it's very, you know, like you said, calm. It's cool.
It is.
Collected.
I would love, I wish we had some like nice music to...
Surely we can.
Surely we can make that happen.
I mean, I can think of one track right off the top of my head that could play. But
Look, man, look at the little aiming thing coming out of his nose. That's where they shoot from. Actually, just like...
Not out of his ear, so to say. I mean, we are up close and personal with Buddy, though. Hey, Bemis, how you doing, man?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? When you think about that, bullets come from your eyes in this game.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you see someone's head, they can still shoot at you. But... I wouldn't want it any other way. I wouldn't want, you know...
I wouldn't even say eyes. That's definitely nose.
Yeah,
so really, it's like this weird, like, snot warfare that we're involved in.
Snot warfare.
Sorry, it's not snot warfare.
Wow.
Yeah,
all right.
Real bad. Wow.
That wasn't the worst one we've said today. That's for sure. We're back in the game, though. Imagine that. 13-13 all tied up. Split in half. Close to the middle somewhere. Right in the middle line. Plopsy's got firm control of the Pop Dog area, and it's just going to be Glocks over here for Mousesports. So good luck with that, and we'll see how long they can stay alive in this round.
Mousesports just baiting NIP, running down the ramp, running right back up, jumping above Pop.
You know, if they had implemented what we asked them to yesterday, they could be playing Cluedo on their save rounds.
That's true.
Man,
but
that's true, dude. That's true.
Snakes and ladders.
Cluedo's like a pretty good board game. You know, I'd rate it like in the top 20.
What did you put as number one? Like Candyland or something?
Candyland? Is that even a board game, dude? I don't know.
It is a board game.
What is that? Monopoly is definitely up there.
Yeah, but we're already playing Monopoly, but as an FPS.
Wow, I've never thought about it that way.
I know it's a big brain. Like,
yeah, but you know, you're like going over, you're taking property, you're taking area off of the enemy, and you're trying to bankrupt them, and that's exactly what NIP are doing here. And also, Rez, the most unforgiving of landlords, that's going to be what? Landing on 3 hotels, mate? Yeah, you owe me everything. So he takes it all in that round there. 14 on the board for NIP, and I know you can't put 3 hotels on 1 property before anyone tells me that.
Maybe you can.
No, play your family rules. And right now, Mousesports, they pass go. They've collected $200, but that is not enough. They wanted the AWP. They wanted everything here. And unfortunately, the force buy 2 rounds ago that's dug them a hole has left not only NIP in the lead, but also Mousesports lacking cash.
And at this stage in the game, right, getting broken is the last thing you ever wanted. And that is literally what is dawning on Mouse right now. If they don't win this round with this buy, they are down to pretty much nothing, and it all hinges on getting a bomb plant at least here to open up investment opportunity up against 15. Nades into Pop, but Rez is going to win his fight out regardless. And Chris is just left hanging around all alone. Nothing really to do. Doesn't want to drop down the Pop and give away another kill, so he's just left kind of relying on the rest of his team to draw distractions and give him an opportunity to still play into the round. He'll try and molly out the Pop player, but Rez just cancels it with the smoke. He's like, nah, it's not going to be that easy, Chris J. The flash is too shallow. And that's... Plopsky holding main, almost a double up. Nork, there's an easy kill for him. Rez is still waiting. Chris, man, I hate to break it to you, but eventually you've got to go down. And when you do, Rez has not moved a muscle. He is still waiting patiently for the pop drop. Karrigan's gotten deep into this A site and is now wrapping behind the opposition. He's just heard that AWP scope up. And so this could be a kill. And if he gets this, that's going to draw the attention out of Pop. Karrigan biding his time, playing the trigger discipline. Now Rez goes for the fight onto Chris and brings him down to 1 HP. Rez not giving up Pop. Karrigan does at least get the bomb down, and he's given them a chance in this 2-on-3. But Chris is literally a breath away from death.
Oh, and yeah, Rez, he's going to deliver that onto him now. He's tapped down Karrigan. What an amazing round for Rez to just hold his own, to stall the pop dog for so long, and to smoke it off, to not even allow mousesports to clear him out from the outside once they take A. There may be a bomb plant, but Chris has to save, and at least that means he gets lost bonus. Guns can be dropped over, but NIP just defusing the smoke, and they take match point here. It's come the distance, it's gone a long way. NIP, it might have just made it a reality at the finish line. Look at those shots. Rez, man, he is clean. He's had not back-to-back, but 2 4Ks on the CT side, holding down T-Con.
I think everybody just fist bumped. Or
even someone who had like a broken hand. Did you see that? Like with the cast, like putting it to the... Yeah, that's cool.
Style points, man. Not as stylish as Mr. Robin Cool. Not to be confused with Robin Thicke. 2 totally different people. In this one, the only thing that's getting robbed is mousesports of the lead and potentially of the game. Pending the outcome of this round, a lot riding on this one. Map and series point for NIP. Got all the tools, all the devices, all the kits. They've got it all. Let's see if they can hang on right here at the very end.
If Rez is playing Pop Dog like he has been, then mousesports going to have their work cut out for them. We usually see Ropz dominate that position in games, but he has had a tough time at getting control today. Even though his performances has been great, his position has been locked down. Oh, a little nade. Ropz bullying Hampus on the B-bomb site above the train. He knows the inner positions. He's been there before.
Precision airstrike.
Look at this, though. NIP, they've preemptively put Plopsky in the connector to rotate to B. Rez can rotate up through Pop. So if Mouse do indeed commit to this inner site, the rotations can just come in so quickly for NIP. Now, as I'm saying that, Plopsky, of course, has left connector. Goes back to it now as all this utility starts to pour into the B site. Mouse, this is going to be a very disjointed push if this is where it's looking to end up. And so, yeah, it's not. Ropz gets out alone, while the rest of the gang still have their eyes set towards A. They deal with Rez in Pop. That opens up the rotation here for Karrigan with that bomb. Plopsky on the bomb train, trying to make a bit of a stand. He does have rotations coming in through the connector. And it's Hampus delivering a kill, but is that going to be enough? Because this site now has fallen apart. They're trying to get them off the bomb, but they can't. And Nork is dealt with shortly thereafter, 14-15. It's 1 away from overtime. And if they don't get it, it's all over for Mouse here. NIP will be taking their first victory in the Pro League.
And hey, the money hasn't been saved, but Karrigan picks up the AWP at the end of the round, and they upgrade all those Galils to AK, so mousesports actually reap the rewards of that round. Ropz as well. Important, he doesn't overplay his hand down towards B. He gets down ramp, he sells a fake, he keeps 2 inner for a bit, makes some shots go through the smoke, but he never actually peeks, and if he did, he would have walked into the AWP and likely died. So him coming back into A, although he's not the guy getting the entries, but just that number, having it alive for mousesports is everything. Cover for the plant, throws with a big kill onto the site as well. And Rez, he's back in the Pop Dog, back to his Rezi ways.
His resolve.
His resolutions. Plopsky, though, pushed T-Con as well. The controller's there for NIP. Lots taken away from Mouse. So it will have to be another slow stall out for mousesports. Save their utility for the later game.
Yeah, but anything can happen right here, Hugo. And you can see that. You can see that mousesports aren't ready to give up this fight. Very real potential here. They're going to hold on to it. Started to set their eyes on the inside. Hampus is going to throw a return grenade that Well, actually, it was exactly thrown at him from the opposite side last round. One player, Ivy. It's going to be Bemis by himself. The rest of them trying to pop out lower just as fast as they possibly can. Kerrigan inside of the site, not with the kill. But I don't know if it's enough. Hampus has got a lot on his plate.
Oh, no.
Chris! They're next to each other. Chris is touching him with the barrel of the gun. They've gone round each other. Hampus in the smoke. Chris is like, I don't know, man. That smoke felt very, very deep for some reason. And now trying to get the bomb down, but oh no! Oh, saves his life. Well, he doesn't, but he does get the trade. And now Bemis arrives from Ivy. Mouse, they need this for overtime, and it all falls onto Frozen. 1v2, back at the bomb site, and 2 players to beat. It's an AWP and an M4 up against him, Robs. Or Frozen, rather, delivering the first, and he just gets out of there. 1 HP, still alive. No idea how. AWP in the hands of Twist, but he's on the 5-7, looking to deal with it, looking to deny overtime. Frozen, the game is in his hands, and he locks it in. We're going to OT. Mousesports and NIP, the fight rages on in overtime in just a moment, so don't go anywhere.
Hi, we're experienced travelers passing through.
This is it, this is not a drill. Hold nothing back, it's sure to kill. In this leap of faith that you're in between, you stand alone, but I'll watch over you. The clock is ticking, the clock is ticking. A single second could mean everything. Time is running, the time is running out. Don't give up, don't give in. Don't let me down. Be the one to wipe their grin when they hear this sound. Don't give up, don't give in before they catch a glimpse. I know you'll find the strength within. This is your last chance. Now's your time to shine. Make it count. Honor our sacrifice. And now this is your last chance.
There's simply not enough cat jams in the chat, so what we did here is we stacked these 2 players next to each other and then put ourselves into overtime. That's how it works around here, ladies and gentlemen. You know the routine. Off your feet, Pepe Jammers, all that cool stuff that you're doing in the chat. Of course, you're doing it for that man right there. He's about to smile for you. Look at that. It's kind of a smile. It's more like just a thumbs up. Anyway, this is ESL Pro League Season 12. Harry, Hugo, myself, and an overtime on the cards. We've been to 2 maps. We've been to 3 maps, and now we're looking to extend that 3rd map just a little bit more here before we jump into the Astralis Vitality game. And we're glad you're joining us, no matter where you find yourself in this big, wide world.
Yeah, Frozen a 1-on-2 with 1 HP to get us here, and now it's got to be worth something for mousesports. Molly through the smoke. Rez, the Pop King in this game. He gets traded by the man coming through. Twist with a shot to stop Rob swiftly after. And BMAS with the Molly at the back of the bomb site is going to keep Nork passive. He smokes it. He wants to go through with the orb. BMAS has wrapped around Hampus, though. This is getting messy inside of the site. The bomb getting spotted, and Nork with a quick shot to Karrigan. Tagged back, of course. It's got to be so close, and it's never clear until we're just there. Oh my! Almost a follow-up for Nork. The bomb retrieved, and mousesports with nowhere to go but A.
Oh, Twist is quick with this AWP. Now double AWP up against BMAS. Frozen was able to clutch out a 1v2, turned 1v1 at 1 HP. Can BMAS do it with double the health? In theory, sounds easy, right? But is it going to be? BMAS wrapping around, looking for this kill, but Nork, quick on the trigger, uses the AWP up against the tagged man, and NIP, they steal that first in overtime away to go up 16-15. The magic number we're looking for, of course, 19, which is like a 6, only the wrong way around.
Yeah.
Crazy how nature do that. Rob's at 30 right now. Frozen's close behind on 27 of his own, but some quick flicks hit in this round. We've had some great AWPing from Twist in this one specifically, but Nork shows up in the first round of OT with a lockdown round. No AWP here for mousesports. Back to the flat rifles. Money is not an issue in 16K MR3, so Karrigan, he's speeding off his spawn out towards A. He gets very deep for not that much damage if you consider the 2 Molotovs that were expelled in his position. They know he's here, though. He's just flashed out, and he's going to double back as his team hit B. No one's watching. Hampus is very passive on upper. Lots of room being given, and he's not even looking at this one. He realizes too late. Now they're already in the site. They're already in connector. Chris can cut off rotations as the bomb gets planted. Hampus, they're getting closer to him by the second.
Frozen gives up some control towards CT, but NIP, they've certainly got a tall order ahead of them, especially with 2 players so damn deep already. BMAS spotted in behind Oil, but this is where Chris J can have his say in the round. Down goes Plopsky. BMAS trying to swing to extend it even further, but in doing so, he's dug a bit of a hole for the side of Mouse. Frozen holds his ground, and Nork not able to get past Chris J. He gets sent packing, and mousesports, they immediately respond with a round as well. 16-16, we're all tied up. Those numbers are the same. I've checked it with the analysts. They've weighed in. I don't just mean CS analysts, I mean number analysts. And they say yes.
Yeah, that was a great execute from mousesports. They throw all these fake smokes on A, and Karrigan runs out Olaf. That keeps so many players on that A site there for NIP. That Chris is able to run down ramp and get through connector. That wasn't an A lurk. That was just him speeding it through B. Hampus was upper, and so he never saw it until they were already too deep. And mousesports level pegging right now, 16 all, looking for a 2-1 lead. That's a great grenade, though. Good damage done. And Chris is taking a beating in this one. Molotov as well. It's getting hot for BMAS. He might have to use a smoke, saving it until it's absolutely necessary. Rob's lurking in on his own, flashed out by Hampus. Or for Hampus, who's here with the peak. Another flash coming through. Robs now knows he's got him trapped. He's going to run him down. Oh, confident stuff for Robs. And for good reason, his 32nd kill. An inner flank could come through. Rez is up in pop, could come up the ladder. He's holding for the rotate back. He's not convinced, and good reason to be. It is an A take, so Robs might have to get past this aggressive CT. Oh, barrel spotted. Rez repositions. He doesn't want to get dropped, but he turns around, and Robs drops in on his face. The orb still fires off for Twist. His 3rd of the round right now, and that's left Chris in a near undoable clutch.
What's Chris J got up his sleeve?
Oh, okay.
It's the slow crawl back in through main. 4 HP now. We've had a 1 HP clutch. We've had a failed 2 HP clutch, and now on 4 HP as they keep doubling the numbers. They only double the trouble. NIP steal away another 17-16 at the end of the first half of overtime. Does this game have double OT written on it? It certainly feels like it could.
Not now. Now that you've said that, no way. It's impossible. Or, well, rather, I guess it is possible, but not probable. Can Nip pick up this first round, though? That we've switched sides. We're going to see if they've got an answer. Again, if you are just joining us, we're 27 minutes now past the scheduled time for Vitality Astralis, but for good reason. Obviously, Chris J taking aggressive fights like that with an AWP. That's what we've signed up for. That's what we came here to see. And Hocus Pocus himself playing around the E-box.
Oh, no. Oh, Frozen just looked away. Hampus tucks inside of the smoke. Frozen. He's looking the wrong way, and the fade favors Hampus. The trade back for NIP in a 4-on-4 now. They know where the AWP is, or at least one of them on the site. There's still a second to be found. Chris pushed back. Karrigan back at the side by side of these AWPers. Oh dear, Karrigan goes wide. Hampus is deeper than they made out for, but Chris is going to be able to get that trade. Smoke down to the E-box. They got a cross on the right side. Twist is dead to Chris, who has just been coming alive in this overtime. And Rops with the grenade drops Nork as well. There's no getting out of this A site. Trials and tribulations run round every corner, and now Plopski needs to walk up behind one of his own. Rops has come in. They don't know how deep Plopski's got. He's not going to take the connector. He wants everything. He wants the flank, and he might catch Chris on this rotation. Oh, Dewey's been spotted, looking the wrong way, and still reconsidering Rops inside of the site. That's not the case. He's flanking Pop.
Time might be out for Plopski. He's going to try and get this bomb down, and that's now heard. They know that it's come in, and there's the wrap from Rops in through the Rops dog. It's 18 or 17 on the board, rather, for mousesports. They tie us up in the second half of OT, and this game still belongs to anyone. It's open season here. 2 rounds left in this second half of OT. mousesports, they needed to do it flawlessly, and they're a third of the way there.
Yeah, Hampus, man, he's so good on this A side, just getting into uncomfortable positions. That camera shot makes me uncomfortable. The fingers going through the bomb. But the defuse comes in nonetheless. And now mousesports, double orb continues. Nork on his, 16 and 23, having a slow start. Harry, this is kind of what you called coming into this series. Nork, he's been banging earlier on, but he often does slow down in that third map. When we go the distance, it's hard to keep it up across a series, but Chris J has no issues, years of experience, and fast fingers flicks back up to find Plopski, going in for more. Nork won't allow it. Traded right back. 2 players crunching B. Karrigan's here, holding, ready and waiting. Rez is gone. Twist won't go out to try and trade. He's just too far away.
Hampus
again, Hampus
in A, and no one from ours even knows. Like, no one knows. No one's even considering it. No one's even holding main. Like, what? Hampus has just walked in. Even he's surprised at how free this is. Karrigan, I'm so sorry, bud. You might get knifed. You might probably... Yeah, Hampus is going to show respect.
Let's just wait. Let's just wait right here.
This is cool. He's waiting. He's playing. This is so patient. He's going to wait for his teammates to get into offer. There's the kill on a Karrigan. And now they're left wondering, like, what the hell has just happened? Rops falls. And dearie me, mousesports. 2-on-3 in the retake. They're going to try and, I was going to say, like, come in together, but Nork just takes the fight, and Hampus does the same. 18 on the board for NIP. Match and series point in their hands. mousesports, they've got to play for a double overtime here.
NIP, rather, they've been here before. They had match point just moments ago, and it was Frozen to clutch it out to get us here into bonus rounds. So don't count mousesports out. Money no longer the issue, and that was so long for them on that second half. Hampus, man, what a cheeky guy, getting behind enemy lines once again. It's been all too consistent. He's going for it once more, running out T-Con. Rob's pushing behind this smoke, going deep into upper. He's here before they realize, but Molly down for Rez, waiting on the fade. If he sits in it, could be favored. Actually, he's using the wall to his advantage. Rops has gone above, and Rez is trying to put him below, but no one can see a thing. Rops spams him back. Hampus again in the smoke, Frozen. Not again, he turns around as the fade comes through. Unfortunate timing, and it might put NIP in the finish line, but Chris has other ideas. Nork out in main with the AWP, again, snatching back the advantage On a knife's edge now. Mousesport's a man down. Chris has got to do it all.
This is impossible. Surely it's a good shot to open up, but Nork trades it back, and NIP, they close it out. It takes an overtime and almost made it double. But NIP get their first win here at the Pro League over MOUZ in a competitive series that went the distance and then some. We still got to break this down. Oh, and then we have Astralis Vitalities. There's still more CS to come. Don't go anywhere. It's coming up in just a moment.
This is bigger than anyone realizes.
How did Nazis get into the States?
This is the greatest mass conspiracy in our nation's history.
Feeling hate when it suffocates at the bottom. Don't take the bait, just walk away. Resuscitate your nirvana. I feel where I've never felt before. I finally found what I'm looking for. So, would you give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away? Would you give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away?
Well, in a game that really did deliver, we had Nuke, we had Mirage, and then ultimately we ended up on overtime on Train. Of course, no one could have predicted that, except those that predicted that NiP would win this series. This is your Mountain Dew Game Fuel post-match, which is exactly where we're going to start to discuss things. Prediction game, strong.
Yeah, gloating aside, though, maybe we should talk about the match.
You have the script, man. Like, what do you want us to do there? You have...
Where I put it? I put it down.
It's over there, man. I can see it off in the distance.
Somebody else is reading now. Well, I don't want any spoilers, but here's a spoiler for you. We're going to spoil you with an interview right here, right now. We got to get into our next game, so we're going to do this sooner rather than later. I want to bring in Plopsky and have just a few words with the man who has the plan You guys look damn good there in the second half. Plofsky, talk me through the game.
On train?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, we always know that our CT side is like pretty good on train. We got a good start on T side, 6 rounds, I think 6-1, I think it was. And I think everyone was pretty confident, but we sadly couldn't get, I think we got 1 more round after that, which is still, I mean, 7 rounds on T side is good for us, I would say. I think everyone in our team is pretty confident on the CT side. So getting the 7 rounds was very important. And yeah, we just, we trust our CT side pretty much, yeah.
Plofsky, it looks like you guys are back at home now, which is cool. Obviously, you had a boot camp recently. Talk to me about that, right? How useful was it with you guys all being together with Threat as well, sitting behind you guys? Have you learned a lot from your recent success at Cologne?
Yeah, I would say so. Like before, I mean, we started 1 week before everyone else on the player break. Like we went over to Stockholm, had a boot camp like 1 week before everyone else started because we wanted to just like, because we still, Hampus was still pretty new to the team, so we just wanted everything to go, like practice everything over and stuff. And then we went back home, and then we went back to Stockholm again to play the ESL Cologne. And I think like playing together at the boot camp is very nice, very good, I would say, for us, especially me, because I feel like I play better when I have people around me, like I get more hyped up and stuff. It's a little bit harder at home because you're like sitting here all by yourself. So yeah, like the boot camp is, I think everyone really enjoys it, but yeah, we've been there very much lately.
Well, on that note, talking about playing with your teammates, you may have seen the announcement that LAN is coming back at the end of the year. Are you excited about that? Obviously, assuming you guys can get there. You know, what are your thoughts on LAN coming back to Counter-Strike?
I mean, LAN coming back to Counter-Strike is going to be amazing. I think everyone, like every player, wants to play at LAN again because, I mean, if we're going to play against other teams as well, because it feels like we've been playing pretty much the same teams for the past months, I would say. Like us, Vitality played like, I don't know, many times. So getting back to LAN, like just getting the LAN hype and feeling again, getting to play against other teams is going to be real nice.
Hey, man, we're not going to keep you too long. Actually, just one last question for you, and it's been at the top of some people's minds. What's it like to get your first win in the Pro League?
It's amazing. I think this brings up our conference very much to get our first win.
Nice. Well, let's keep it on that train. We're going to be jumping into our next matchup. Plofsky, thank you so much. And with that said, we were going to go to a break. We're going to come back with Astralis taking on Vitality. Some would call it an El Clasico. Others would just call it a best of 3. We'll be right back, everybody.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
If you want to know what you're good at, and, well, also what you suck at, check out csgohub.com. Coming!
Come on, here we to be honest, I don't mind, cause I don't feel the same way I used to do. Every time I see you, I know the truth, cause baby.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Euronics, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, GGBet, and America's Navy.
Well, just as we conclude a series, we start another one. That's how the Pro League works, baby. We're looking at Astralis, we're looking at Vitality, and we're looking for some results. We're looking for some answers. And you're looking at the beautiful country of Malta. Of course, www.gamingmalta.org. I think if my memory does serve me correctly, that would be the proper link. But for us, we need to link that back in somehow. And by we, I'm talking about Harry, Hugo, and myself. Astralis, Vitality, and really, when we look at this matchup, is this the marquee matchup of the night?
This is the El Clasico, right? This has been a pretty common game, to be honest, this year. One that Astralis have always won in best of threes. They have dropped one BO1 back at Blast earlier before the player break. But other than that, pretty good for Astralis. And, you know, they've had their trials and tribulations, their roster changes. Right. But we're liking what we're seeing from this Danish squad. Bubsky on the photos there, from what I've seen, is S-Tag playing tonight, not him. So keep that in mind, Trace.
Well, before we even kind of just, you know, tempt fate there and get it all wrong, let's talk about the Vitality side and how it looks maybe a little bit different. There's a couple questions, but here's one answer that you need to have. As of today, I'm no longer part of Vitality. It has been an incredible ride. From finding out I'll be playing for Vitality, taking over the IGL role, making 11 straight playoffs, 6 finals, and 4 trophies. Of course, I read that a little slower because I wasn't sure, like, well, where are you going with this one? I'm kind of unsure. But nonetheless, here we are, and we're ready to talk about everything that this series consumes. I mean, this is Alex. He's been away from the picture, and moreover, we're getting a Vitality right here that shouldn't have any more excuses.
Yeah, where on earth could Alex be going is what we're all theorizing.
It's going to be a colossal move regardless of what happens, you know. And I can't wait to see where he ends up. Yeah. But yeah, man, for Vitality, they switched things up. Obviously, when Alex departed, Apex took over in that IGL role, and he's really come into his own. I really think that, like, undergoing some changes, having to get used to new faces in this Vitality team has really helped make, like, the older, more experienced core of RPK, Shox, and Apex perform that much better, it feels like, right? And in particular, I think RPK is a really interesting one to keep an eye on. You think about this guy's storyline and what he's been through, and he's looking better than ever in the server.
Of course, and that does make sense. He's actually out here just shooting heads and rocking ways, you know? He's doing things the RPK way, the way that he wants to do them. And moreover, we need to talk about some players that we're highlighting here. I've somehow graciously allowed you to pick 2 players. So Hugo, no. Who's it going to be, Hugo? Survey says?
Glaive. Pretty sure that's what I picked 6 hours ago. Who remembers? But yeah, Glaive. Obviously, I was going to say latest addition back into
it was a nice try.
Oh, it's Device. What? I swear I picked Glaive. But hey, we'll talk about Device instead. This guy's pretty damn good on the AWP. Taking on ZywOo in this series, right? Like, obviously, that's kind of a scary matchup considering we know how good ZywOo is. But the question we always have for ZywOo is, can he keep it up? Can he hold his own forever? And he certainly has had his off series lately. So Device in a great spot, in a great team.
Well, maybe I should tell you that that's great and all, but it's not him. And it's going to be S-Tag playing in the server.
Over Device?
No, not over Device, but like that's a whole different thing. What about this other FXGG card here?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll move swiftly on to that. I remember who I picked. How could I ever forget? It's RPK, man. What a guy he's been. As I say, like, you think about this guy's storyline. There was a time where, like, he was almost even retiring. In fact, I think he did actually retire for like a...
He had an absence.
Like, yeah.
He had an absence.
Well, I think it was like pegged as a retirement when he spoke about it. Then comes back fighting, and then like in this Vitality squad, especially as of late, his results have just been looking bigger and better than ever. And it's gotten to the point where he's like the backbone of this team, it feels like. Like, you know, you're always relying on someone like RPK to put up some good numbers. And then you've got your kind of wild cards. I would say that's kind of Shox and ZywOo. ZywOo obviously can win everything for this team single-handedly, but not all the time. And then it's nice that you can share that pressure out over other people now for Vitality.
Exactly. You can kind of like, you know, I don't want to say spread the wealth, but you can certainly make it look a little bit different and feel a little bit different, especially when your teammates are stepping up and it's not always the spotlight on one player. But now we need to spotlight what maps we're going to be playing on, and I can tell you, of course, I always know what the maps are, but I don't know if it's as fun as just telling you that Astralis picked Nuke and then Vitality picked Vertigo.
Wow, you've really spoiled it there. Is that a prediction or is that just full?
That's just
full
the way it's going to
spoil
be,
mode?
Hugo.
Okay,
That's
well,
the way it's going to be.
Wow, Trace, the knowledge man. He's read the script.
Holy
he's gone through
smokes.
the 1,500-page book, and he's got at least one of them right so far. Nuke is a go-to. When we had Astralis and Vitality play back at Cologne, Astralis dominated. They 2-0'd. They barely dropped rounds. They lost 15 rounds over a BO3. And so, yeah, it's kind of what we expect. Nuke was their pick back then, and Dust was picked for Vitality, but they were destroyed on it as well. So they'll go a different route onto Vertigo.
What's the third map?
It's
which
Dust
I like.
It's Dust 2.
Of course.
We're not having none of that Inferno nonsense. You can keep Mirage too, because nobody wants to see that BS anytime soon. But for us, we will certainly want to start on Nuke, as all series do.
Yeah, every series. Well, I won
every
earlier.
series ends on Nuke. Starts on Nuke. And every
earlier,
series ends
on Inferno.
on a variation of Inferno, be that Mirage or Dust.
Big Inferno, small Inferno.
Yeah, which Inferno?
Yeah.
In Fuego. Speaking of which, in Fuego, we are on fire right now because we're getting ready to not literally, Harry. I know it's like when that gets
for
said,
me, man, yeah. It's like one of those powers I have, but I don't always do it. But it's a good party trick. Like, I can't do it, otherwise I'll burst into flames. So.
Sonic
compelling argument to not do it, right?
Sonic combust yourself.
Sonic convection, yes, that's the one.
Predictions, fellas, we know what they are. You guys got 0, I got 1. That's pretty obvious. So who do you have in the series?
I think I picked Astralis. Oh, I did pick Astralis.
Yeah,
that's good, man. Yeah. I agree with me from 6 hours ago.
I also checked my picks. By the way, I was right earlier. It was Glaive, so that just changed, I guess. But it's fine. I'm also going with Astralis. Who couldn't?
I think you can't really justify going against Astralis with the domination that we saw with S-Tag in the server the other day. I think that alone speaks volumes, and that's pretty much why I picked Astralis and why I picked Nip before, because I know these things.
Yeah, you've read the
You get the maps right every time. You get the teams right every time. All I'm saying is that something's going on with Saranthus.
You think something's fishy around here with Sarah?
Yeah, man. Where's that little fish? What, statue?
Fish? It's not like a monument to a fish, but it kind of is in a roundabout way. That's a Big Mouth Billy, actually. It's Billy Bass. Those things have been around a real long time.
Yeah, man.
But for us, I mean, it really doesn't matter. We're talking about a plastic fish that is actually powered by batteries. Like just something to wrap it back into what could be a colossal fishing experience here for Astralis. I'm not talking about catfish. I'm not talking about doing anything weird on the internet. I'm talking about Nuke between Astralis and Vitality.
That's the thing. You never quite know what Astralis you're going to get, be that in form or formation, what roster they're bringing to the table. Today it's S-Tag, 2 in-game leaders.
They're the geese of Counter-Strike.
Exactly. I don't know how that ties in, but I'm going to agree with it because you said it confidently, Harry. Sometimes confidence is everything. Have Astralis got that confidence? They set up towards A. That main smoke's a fake. They're coming in through the position. Glaive moving in. Apex with his back turned, and it's a fast one for Astralis running through the door. Apex with first blood. Mizuta dropping one for the back of the site, and that bomb has been left in the open. Great stall for Apex. He's not giving them a gunfight. Mizuta not needed to flick. It shocks from above, laying down death, and Apex all this time has been tucked in the cubby in main. Oh dear, they're running dupreeh down, and Vitality with the pistol round. So tell me about geese, Harry.
Yeah, man. They're like, if you can imagine, like a big duck, right? That's kind of the starting point. And from what I've gathered, they're pretty lethal, man. Like, I wouldn't go near a goose anytime soon. And Astralis are like geese, because you said you never know what formation they're in. And geese fly in like that V, but maybe they've got other ones. Maybe there's geese intelligence out there. GI. Well, down here, it's a flying start for Astralis as they head south to the border, and ZywOo can get 2 before he's dealt with. In they flock, and well, now, here's the rotation from Shox. Onto the rafters, laying down the pain, trying to get this round tucked to bed nice and quickly. dupreeh with a Tech-9. What's he able to do with it? Can he make this gun not look gross? Because right now, he's failing, and he swapped out onto the D. That's why I love dupreeh right there. Drops the tech, takes the good gun. Glaive can kill with anything. I believe in that to my very core. And he's opened up this 2-on-2 with the tech. A-site plant now locked in for Astralis, and he's going to start to wrap in through the lobby, into ramp, and then into heaven. And that there could be absolutely huge for Astralis, especially with RPK just like trolling on the ladder. He's like, ha ha ha, I take 20 damage and I still win the round. But to do that, to have those bragging rights, you got to still win the round. And Glaive, he's going up. He's going up behind RPK. Glaive silent on the approach, and there it is. It all falls onto Shox in a 1v2, and with Heaven now secured for Astralis, he's packing his bags. He's getting out of there.
Of course, Astralis win that round. That is phenomenal stuff, right? Glaive killing the vent rotate and just taking that room immediately. No hesitation about it. And then to have the balls to wrap ramp as well. Crazy plays for Astralis, finding their second round, or their first round rather, in the second round. That forces the Force right back in the hands of Vitality, who have nothing else to show. So we could save money for the AWP, but $1,400, everyone else is buying.
Pelotas. That's the word we're looking for.
Yeah, that is the word.
And albeit neither of these teams speak Spanish, but that is the word we're looking at. Nonetheless, somehow, some way, we're talking about running it back. A good buy for Astralis. Not such a good buy. Not really a strong gun buy here.
They do have an AUG. I was going to say Krieg, but what year is this? AUG picked up off of Vitality. That's quite the weapon on the T side, as we saw Plopsky wield it back in Train. Picked it up off of, I can presume, Karrigan, keen investor of the AUG.
I like the cam paths.
Yeah, dude.
They add like a nice little, different look. And
it's going to be outside for Astralis. Molly in Secret, that keeps this heavy stack back. Vitality set 3 up to deal with this. They're trying to read into Astralis, but it's never easy, as we know. Apex is going to flash him out into the yard. Matches, good luck with this one. He does dodge the flash, but can he dodge the bullets? No, RBK drops him, and now Astralis set their sights towards ramp and A, and then back to A again.
Oh, but ZywOo not going to give them the room. Ooh. And this round's already over. It is very, very quick and clean for Vitality.
Oh, Click and Queen.
Click and Queen.
I do like...
Yeah, I like this ambient lighting.
Yeah, it's like some sort of hue light setting, and quite frankly, I think that's OP. I have to give credit where credit's due, though. The man that introduced me to the hue lights, you sound just like him. In fact, he might be your dad. And we're talking about Mr. Henry Greer.
Okay, that's more Hugo then.
Oh, well, in that case, he could be your uncle.
I figured it would be Henry. I know he's into his smart technology.
Smart technology, as opposed to the dumb technology.
Yeah, like the Tech 9.
No, that's smart tech.
We call it acoustic technology.
All right. Here we are back into it. Astralis on this T side, them Techninas. Woo! What's Device got for us? He's got to lead the way with this AK, and he's going to be the first out into the ramp room. And boy, Shox is not going to be alone. They're all there for him. Device takes out Shox, but the trade, it's coming from Apex. It's coming from the side of Hell. They're going to rush him, take an advance on him. Try to net themselves some sort of armament to try to get this bomb down.
Oh, timing. ZywOo catches it. Of course he does. Glaive shot in the back of the head. Vitality have been so great at throwing like waves of defense against Astralis. 3 in Secret, 3 fighting ramp, even though it was, 2 Hell rotates that just came in so quickly that Astralis weren't ready for it. And now it's S-Tag on a 1-on-2. Has gotten out the door and smoked the plant if he wants, or fake it and drop lower. He needs to do that now, though, because Mizuta is getting in position to watch the vent. And there it is. S-Tag drops in and wins the fight. B is open for him. ZywOo very fast on the rotate. He can run, but S-Tag can hide behind the site where he gets the plant. ZywOo now knows, and S-Tag's got to get out of there with a gunfight.
And he does. Wow. Takes down ZywOo with conviction and puts a second round on the board for Astralis. But unfortunately, given the money situation for Astralis, doesn't look like they're going to be mustering too many rifles out of this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nature, right, with this back and forth beginning. This fight for survival going on between either side. And, while they're going to be lacking the rifles, There's also going to be a bit of assistance from the fact that they've broken Vitality's money down as well. But Vitality do actually have the better buy here. And that's very subjective. But at least I think they do. And I'm the guy with the microphone. So, hey,
yeah,
Dupree coming out into the A site. Opens it up, and now a bomb plant can come in. Apex is here with this nade. He's hoping to get a bit of damage through this smoke, but it doesn't find anything. Bomb now planted, and Astralis in a 4-on-4. Looking to finally take 2 in a row.
Just trying to shoot guns back to his teammate in lobby. Device, he's dropped his. There it is. He picked up the M4. Boost up for Astralis. I like this in the post plant. They use the molly to take further control. RBK not expecting it. Neither the trade. Dupree gets a 2K, and Mizuta comes in through the smoke in main. 2 for him. Device trades. That picked up M4, doing everything for Astralis in the 2-on-1. As now Apex has to save his weapon. A long way away. Dupree with 3 in the round, and Astralis with 3 rounds. Oh, that's a cool camera shot.
It's not as cool as the guy that had his camera in his nostrils the last time we looked at the fan cam. That was, you know, I don't even know what it would be, like the medical procedure, so I'm not going to pretend to guess, but like one of those surgical cams.
You can leave it there, Trey.
And I will. And that's that. So Astralis go up 3-2. That's not bad. Vitality, low money. You're not going to see any investment other than this scout. And by investment, it's just Apex doing Apex things. It might find some use as well. He's going to head towards outside, and so is all of Astralis. He's already got the info. They are in tow. They are waiting it out.
They run to secret, and now they walk back, hoping that they've given a sound cue over to Vitality.
My, oh my.
That's pretty cool. They decide against it now, and they start to drop this utility outside. And Vitality, they've fallen for it, like hook, line, and sinker. You know, they've got everyone down towards B with the exception of Apex. A site, that's just free, innit? Welcome. Hello. Apex is here to greet them.
And the 4 players coming up secret, they've got something to say as well. CT side for Vitality, and they're going to try to march right on up the stairs. Meanwhile, just a little spray there in the back. Just a, hey, man, don't KS me.
Oh, dear. Good luck, Apex.
Nah.
Oh,
he's got it in the bag, man. Look at this.
Yeah, you will see Apex running Scout over ZywOo. ZywOo actually doesn't like the Scout. He's more of an AWP man for good reason, and so Apex dons that. Small sniper when needed. Yeah, taking some love taps to the back, but
don't KS me, man.
Just going through the motions. Ooh.
Oh, there it is again.
Chain link fence.
Why is there? Yeah, I was going to say, why is there a chain link fence there?
He's locked up.
Yeah,
let me out. Lock. All right, don't want to get DMCA'd on this.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, we're pretty close to Akon if I had to think about it. When our voices combine like that.
Oof, that's harmony, man. That's what it is. Look at this. Perfect harmony. Chaotic God here. Shox pushing up outside. Quickly traded by Dupree. But on the back of Shox getting so aggressive, they might not be ready for Mizuta. That said, you've used the Glaive smoke against Glaive, and it works. It is Kryptonite. Doesn't even check it. Mizuta looking for even more. He's doubled up, and outside belongs to him. Can he get a third? He can get a third. And so for S-Tag now, it's the impossible task of reclaiming lost ground in this 1v3. Any of you two want to weigh in?
Nope. Not much to wait for. There it is, though. Traded from RPK. He got out 8 for free, but Vitality, they take it back from him nice and swiftly. Ooh,
wow. Look
Fast forward Counter-Strike now. Timescale 2.
I respect that.
That's how CS should be played.
Yeah, that fast. And you know what? B-hopping, all that. All right, so what's going on here? Interesting.
Right, yeah.
Well, it's always something entertaining going on in the fan cams.
I don't even know where to look.
Yeah, and perhaps we'll keep it that way. Yeah, away it would be.
Oh, boy. Oh, they crossed. Dupree doesn't realize. Shox has pushed down Glaive. I like the aggression the Vitality is showing outside so far. It's going to get traded, though. Shox doesn't live too long in that position. Mizuta might, though. Last time unchecked on the right of the red, now he's on the left. Magis 0-6, slow start. This could be where they pick it up. Lining more smokes towards the yard, him and Device. Laying them down. Apex, if he can draw attention before those smokes bloom, then Mizuta's position will be even more valuable, but he's going to push, and he could catch players with nades in hand. Oh, Magis moves away. The cover is not there. Device gets caught with grenades in hand, but Dupree trades. A lot of info there for Vitality. The bomb and the smoke's getting lined up. Of course, Device dropped. His smoke won't go, so it's only one now as Astralis try and move outside. Apex is still here.
Man, and Astralis, they're just getting it dealt to them out in yard. The bomb now dropped, and S-Tag once again. Everyone on Astralis is now watching him play this 1v2 out. The pressure is there. And it's one of these moments where it's like, S-Tag, you always seem to be the last guy alive. So, you know, there's this guy called Zipnix on our squad. He's pretty good in clutches normally. You have a lot to live up to here, S-Tag.
He's done it before.
He certainly has. And there's still time, right? There's still 25 seconds for him, but he doesn't know the whereabouts of this second player, and that's the problem. Fires off a shot, sees the head, but RPK is so damn quick down in secret, he mops the round up nice and easy to tie us up at 4-4.
Yeah, money in a woeful state here for Astralis now. Could be much worse. They're just going to have to maybe get themselves some pistols and save in this round, but albeit T-sided nuke. Hugo, what's your diagnosis? I don't want to call you Doc Hugo. I mean, that...
my name works. Yeah, you can just go with
it's
that.
like normal Hugo, I guess.
Yeah, dude, that works too.
Regular, normal Hugo.
You can just say Hugo. I mean, however you want to say it. You know, this is fine. It's a good start from Vitality, honestly. Like, we know Astralis have these strong T-sides on Nuke, but yeah, this is